Good to see you, everyone. My name is Robbie Howell, and welcome back to another Enclave actual play. I'm doing the big 3-in-1 today, so this is my second mission of the day. And I'm here with some other fine friends who have yet to be on a recorded mission, plus one who's been around on quite a few. With that said, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself, Detour.
Hello, my name is David Torres, aka Detour, longtime player of Enclave.
Marvelous. And then next up, Frank, and then Charles. And if you guys want to talk about what you do, you're welcome to plug that too.
Hello, my name is Frank. I'm one half of the What is Tabletop crew. Charles is the other half. He's what we call the face of the company because he gets all the thumbnails. I'm just the guy who edits everything. So we talk about all things tabletop. We've talked about Enclave. That's why we're here, because we enjoyed it and we're going to play it again. And maybe Charles will die this time. Maybe I'll die this time. One of us is probably going to die.
Yeah, and we really appreciate you taking the time. And Charles, how about yourself?
I think Frank summed up pretty well. I am the face, I suppose, of the thumbnails. He uses me quite frequently. I think it's just because I'm very expressive, perhaps. I don't know. I see a corgi in the background and I love it. So
Yeah,
that's
he's
my
gonna be
step
doing
up.
that.
That's my step up. So, but
Yeah.
now, I'm the other half of What Us Tabletop, and I'm excited. I really enjoyed it last time we played, and I look forward to hopefully putting on a half decent show for everyone.
Marvelous. And now that we've heard a bit about you guys, let's hear a bit about your characters, beginning with Detour's character, Soul. And if you could tell us a bit about the class too, that would be great, because it's not one in the book.
Yep. So Soul is a shonen. This is a class designed by me. It is very much inspired by the classic shonen anime protagonist tropes. And Soul is a uh, martial artist from a sort of warrior monk monastery that he was raised in. And he serves the goddess Seraphel, who is the goddess of justice and fire. So very much a sort of purifying justice motif.
Absolutely. And the shonen is one of the fightiest classes that we have, I'd say, in the game. It's certainly up there. And next up, Frank, tell us about your character, Herman.
Yeah, so I'm playing Herman. He's an old man, but not just a scruffy old man. He's the reincarnation of Hermes in a cyberpunk future. So, he has a lot of problems going on with the youth, trying to always uproot everything. Such a terrible, terrible thing. He's very lucky, which is nice. You kind of need that when you can't rely on anything but if the corporations allow you to eat today. And then, of course, the last, I am playing a wanderer, so lots of wandering things for the messenger god himself.
Marvelous. And lastly, let's hear about Jasper from Charles.
Well, I'll be playing Jasper. His full name is Jasper Presage. I fled from a doomsday cult known as the Retribution. My face was disfigured, so I like to hide it with a bandana. Um, and the class I'm playing is Gunslinger because I like to shoot things.
Perfect. And from these players, I got the following focus words. I got Pinpoint. I got by goat or by boat, which continues to fuck me up. And then I got Fate. And from those focus words, I created the following mission. We're going to do mission statement, and from here, you guys will, of course, be able to do a quick Q&A. All information during this will be known in character, and while normally we'd do an assembly where your characters would get to meet each other before being dumped into the mission, we're going to skip that today. Just know that your characters will have a briefing on who they are working with. So you're not just going to show up next to each other and be like, oh my God, who are you? You'll have an idea of who you're working with going into this. Here is your mission statement. You are going to help elect a king. Now, elect and king are often not in the same sentence, nor is being helped by random outsiders, but there's a reason for it. The land that you are being sent to in Manifold, this is a classic medieval realm, has a sword in the stone style myth, wherein a person who is very good with a bow may claim the kingship by shooting a tiny flower from about 300 yards. And this can only be done at a very specific time of year. And it is actually accompanied by a little rhyme, which goes as such: "Split the wine dark flower at highest, shortest hour. Sinew and steel will sing. The crownless return as king." And you guys are being sent to ensure that an unlikely boy of 10 wins. He is a damn good shot. Not the sort of shot that you'd expect to be able to win this, because this is an unbelievably tough shot for anyone to make in this particular area. But the downside is he is being challenged, or rather, he's not going to get a chance to make the challenge because, as you might imagine, the good shooting spots are being completely dominated by local lords and princes that are going to spend the entire hour just shooting and hoping to hit something. And as such, you're going to be dealing with a number of rowdy entourages that are heavily armed. And because of this one completely helpless, so to speak, young man who's just come out with his dad's bow to try to take a shot, your goal is to ensure he hits the flower and becomes king. You might say, is he a good enough shot to make it? Not far off, but he certainly will need some help. Much more notably, though, again, a lot of these, local knights and people of status are very territorial about this. They want to take as many shots as they can, and they will muscle out anyone who is not of sufficient status and power that wants to try to take a shot themselves. So your main goal is going to be running defense and trying to ensure that he gets an in to take the shot. Of note as well, the flower is on a small island in the middle of a high mountain lake. And because of that, most of the good shooting spots are from high vantage points, but the paths up to them are intensely treacherous. Also of note, while you could hypothetically have him hunker down in a local bush and see if he can take a crack at it from there, the mountain winds are rather vicious at ground level, meaning that it's much less likely he'll be able to do it unless he actually has a good, clear shooting view. Though again, you may be able to find ways around this. Last thing of note, is that does this have a magic to it, per se? Possibly, but it's not entirely clear. More than anything else, it's social proof and a tradition. Make of that what you will. Questions before we proceed?
Yeah, so obviously we're tasked with making sure this kid wins. Does that mean people are cheating?
Oh, yes. But here's the thing. There are so many different entourages there that all hate each other, are intense rivals, that if one of them cheats, one of the others is bound to spot it. And they will quickly tattle. So they have kind of a Cold War with each other, so to speak, of trying to take the legit shot, but mostly trying to keep eyes on each other to make sure no one else is cheating.
Understood.
Excellent question. Other questions?
What's this kid's name again?
I actually never gave you his name. His name is Delf.
I will make a statement that it is pouring where I'm at, so hopefully my power stays on. Just giving that heads up.
Yeah, I'm about 20 minutes away from where he's at, and I just heard a really loud thunder. So I was like, oh, okay, this should be fun.
Nice. Well, let's pray that our luck holds out.
Come on, Florida.
Do you guys have any other questions about the mission based on the statement given?
How many people roughly tend to go for this kind of competition? Is it only the top 5? Is it just any challenger until someone does it?
It is any challenger until someone does it, but it usually boils down to about 3 to 5 entourages. Today, it's sitting at an even 4. And sometimes you'll have some rogue come in and try to take a shot at it, but they are usually muscled away quite quickly. Given that almost everyone here at the very least has a bow, that means that taking pot shots at people, like a warning shot, hey, get out of here, ping, and it sticks in the ground next to them, that's usually enough to scare people off.
Acceptable casualties?
Any.
Oh.
Has this been done before?
No, never.
Never, okay.
I was just going to say, what happens if the shot is taken and he misses?
He can take as many shots as he'd like, But an arrow coming zipping in from a direction that isn't held by an entourage will almost immediately cause them to be like, oh, there's someone there, and they're probably going to turn their attention. Because again, these entourages are strong enough they can't really threaten each other, but they can absolutely band together to bully away smaller fry. Final questions. Marvelous. In that case, rather than an assembly so that your characters can meet each other, just again know that everything we've gone over now is stuff your characters know, including the Q&A. And you will also be given a quick briefing of what each other look like and what each other are capable of. Not all the details, but enough to have an idea. Each of you, however, are brought from your various corners of Manifold to Enclave HQ, a vast, grand, mysterious building at its heart, decorated only in shades of gray, and each of you are led through this labyrinthine place by a faceless attendant until you reach a small, dark room with rounded corners at the floor and ceiling. A disembodied voice would speak in each of your ears as a gleaming pad springs to life in its center. Agent, please take your place atop the telepad. And as you do so, you would feel a tingling sensation starting in your feet, working its way up your legs, leaving them asleep in its wake. When the tingling passes your midsection, your stomach churns violently, and then you no longer feel it. When it passes your chest, your heart flutters, and you no longer feel it beat. And when the tingling passes your eyes, your vision explodes into ribbons of color. There is a buzzing in your ears, the world falls away, and then there is nothing. But as swiftly as the sensation came, it leaves, and you find yourselves looking out across a beautiful high mountain vista. Imagine Switzerland, but like with a few more trees. The most picturesque scene, with perfect blue sky and perfect blue water in the lake down below. You're at a reasonably high altitude at the moment, but you could quite easily trot down to the lake's edge within a minute or two's walk. It's not a huge space. And you can even see from up here, down below, glistening on the water, the many arrowheads and arrow fletchings that stick out of it, like making the island look more like a pincushion than anything else. And even though not all of you have great sensory, in fact, only one of you has above baseline sensory, you would still be able to pick out the single little smudge of purple that stands right in the center of the island, with arrows peppering the area around it. You would also hear the polite from next to you, and would see the stringy boy with hair that kind of covers his eyes in an awkward bowl cut, and the oversized bow standing taller than he is. Next to him, a small mountain goat with a pack slung across it is next to him, its ears flopping happily and a little bell around its neck. The last thing I would note as you're reporting in is you can see the general positions of the entourages. They are mostly at slightly higher altitudes than you. Vantage point from which they can shoot down and cut through the wind slightly easier. The wind is high, though it is not cold. It's like a summer, but with a cold wind to it. And many of them, you see, seem to have actually camped out for the day with actual little pavilions set up and weapon racks arranged with dozens upon dozens of extra arrows ready to go, many of them in separate livery. Immediate actions upon entering this place, we will begin with Soul.
Yeah. First, start looking around a bit, looking up at the entourages. How high up are they?
So the closest to you, if we're talking like altitude, they would be maybe 5 stories up, but all of these have paths leading to it. Admittedly, rather treacherous paths, but nothing that Soul couldn't make his way up. He does have a plus to reflex, and not to mention triple to vigor. At a guess, looking at either of those two directions, while they are rather defensible, it would be less than a 2-minute jog, and you could make it much faster if you needed to.
Oh, I have a much faster way.
I know.
Okay, after scoping that out, looking down at our friend Delf here. Hello. You will have your chance at this kingship.
And you don't see his eyes, you just see his mouth kind of twist slightly. And he says, "Thanks. That's a really really nice thing to say, actually. I didn't expect that. I thought you were going to tell me to buzz off.
No, we are here to help.
He nods and looks to the little goat at his side. Says, "Hear that?" And the goat isn't paying attention. Next, immediate actions, starting with Jasper. What would you like to do immediately upon porting in and seeing this vista around you?
I think Jasper's going to kind of just make some quick observations about, kind of size up the boy a little bit just to make sure, because knowing that he has a chance, but a slim chance, and maybe just kind of give some words of encouragement a little bit and say, well, boy, I guess if anyone's going to try and help you with this, you might as well have us help you. I reckon, have you ever, when's the last time you shot your bow? When's the last time you practiced?
Yesterday, actually. I'm pretty good at it. He scratches under his armpit as he says so. And he says, yeah, I tend our flocks, and I gotta shoot at foxes and wolves and things that come and try to pick off the lambs. And I'm pretty good at it. And sometimes I'll also shoot down hornets' nests when they're in a tough to reach place, and things like that too. And he scratches under his armpit again. I'm pretty good. My dad says I'm better than he is, and he's really good.
I see. So it runs in the family. Well, I reckon, like I said, I think you have a pretty solid chance.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We're gonna want you to really focus on this, okay? I think what you need to work on right now is your confidence. You seem to be lacking in that, so be confident that you don't think that you can do this. Know that you can do this.
But what happens if I don't know I can do this?
We're not here for that kind of negativity.
Oh, okay. So do I have to trigger myself?
You've got to kind of retrain your brain to think of only the positive outcomes, not the negative ones.
So I should say, yes, I'm going to do it.
Exactly right.
Okay, thanks, mister. You have a plus to spirit, I believe. Is that true?
I gotta look at my character sheet again. Give me 1 second. My stats, spirit. I do have a plus to spirit, yes.
Yeah, and because of that, a couple things that you'd get off of him as you're talking. I'm not going to say he's gullible, but he's a trusting kid. The second that you guys don't try to hurt him, he seems to take your word as gospel. And the other thing of note is that even though what you're saying might be lost on an older person, again he's very genuine, and he takes it quite immediately to heart, at least from what you can tell picking off of him as you're talking to him. Follow-ups from Jasper before we check in with Herman.
Now, again, I just want to kind of, I think Sol did a good job of getting the kind of the lay of the land a little bit. I think the only thing I want to figure out is I want to maybe look for an ideal spot for him to take his shot at.
Yeah, and honestly, there's really only one choice, which is those high rocky vistas that directly overlook the lake down below, all of which have, of course, been hogged by the entourages.
All right.
Now that Jasper is seeing the lay of the land, he would observe that if he were to try to take from a lower elevation, not only might it not be within the distance requirement, because of course the shot has to be taken from a certain distance away. So as you go down, you have to go further away, and the topography of the land might not allow for that. But more notably, the wind of this area is kind of funneled down and in like a bowl. And from these high altitudes, it would mean that the wind would be at the back of the arrow, whereas from here, it would be kind of cutting across the front of the arrow. Given that Jasper himself is a shooter and has a plus to sensory, I could see him picking up these sort of wind current things as being almost, maybe not second nature, but enough so that taking this time to observe the scene would give him that information.
Sounds good.
Now, before we go further, Herman, first actions you would like to take as Sol and Jasper are talking to Delf.
I'm just trying to get a good look for the flower that we're supposedly going to be aiming for? It's by itself. Is it isolated?
Yep, it is an isolated, beautiful, dark purple flower. Even though you're
Great.
a ways the hell away from it, you can pick it out in the very middle of the island with arrows all around it, looking like a little thicket of flowers themselves.
All right, we can finagle this pretty well. And I turn around to see Delf. This is what we have to work with. I was looking for something better than this and this scrawny kid.
He looks around and he says,
maybe.
"But I can do it, I just learned that."
Yeah, maybe you can do it. And he pats him on the shoulder. Here's the plan. All right, and I talk to the two adults. If the kid can't do it because he's a kid and he doesn't look like he could do it, here's what I think we need to do. We need to guarantee one of us gets it. And then we could just abdicate the throne to the kid, right? All we have to do is make him king. We don't have to have him actually shoot the dang thing, right?
I think the kid should take the shot. I believe in him.
Yeah. Believe, hocus pocus, whatever. Listen, this is a complicated system of determining kingship here. It's not like I can just call it my god buddies and then we could just say, hey, well, gods, give it to him. That's how it was easy in the old times. Such a shame. So complicated now with their rules. So complicated. Regardless, I think we should also, do some finagling if needed. I already have an idea that I can procure if needed be.
As Herman is saying this, responses from Jasper and Sol. Delf is looking a little deflated, but has stepped to the side to allow you guys to talk.
So I reckon maybe you shouldn't say stuff like that to the boy. You gotta build his confidence.
No, I built character.
No, I think
you gotta have some adversary.
Oh, I don't. I think he has got plenty of adversaries without us adding to it.
No, you need listen. You need someone who will encourage and someone who will challenge, and that's where I come in. I'm the guy who challenges by telling him he's not good enough. That's how I got better.
I'm not sure I believe you, mister.
Delf off to the side is clearly trying to piece apart how all this clicks together and makes sense as he rubs the side of his head. But Sol, responses from you as well.
I think Sol would think for a moment and then say, without rules, there is no justice. This is their way. The child will take his shot.
They sound some malarkey, but I guess we'll do it whatever you're saying. That's fine. Show me the arrows.
And after a moment, Delf says, My arrows?
Yeah. We have to make arrows? Were we bringing them?
No. I can make them, but they're not as good. And he goes over to his goat and pulls open the side saddles and starts to pull out arrows. The arrows are freaking big. This bow is substantially larger than he is, and each arrow is as long as his arm, if not a little more so. They're big hunting-headed arrows with wide-brimmed, serrated heads.
Oh, geez, you can shoot this thing? Golly, kid, I still don't believe it.
Do you want to see? I can show you if you want.
No, let's not. Nah. So I'm going to just take one of the arrows.
Yeah. Sol and Jasper are yeah.
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, we definitely want to see the boy take a shot. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. I mean, what were you planning on to do, Herman?
So I'm going to take one of the arrows and kind of just go by the wayside and use that ability to infuse this arrow with a magic power that basically makes it magnetic towards flowers.
Ooh, that's cool. Now, my question is, are you just affecting one arrow with this, or are you trying to hit multiple?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on how many, because I get 3 uses of it, so it's the question of how many arrows can I affect.
I'd let you hit up to 3 arrows with it.
Ooh, perfect. So I'll take 3 arrows and just kind of start using some ancient Greek magic. And
I was about to ask, what's going to be your paired action for it? Give me just a loose idea of what this magic might look like to a neutral observer.
So if you understand anything about magic, it's a very ritualistic thing. He puts them in the right specific order. He takes his cane and just starts, hitting the right spots, making sure everything works. But to the untrained eye, it's just an old man hitting them with a stick.
Donkey. And as you do so, Jasper is he seems less perturbed than maybe he should be at this ritual, but instead he goes and plucks out another arrow. This one has a different head than the one that he showed. This one's a much thinner, like bodkin style arrow, and he says, "Here, I could shoot it. I could shoot it down." And he points like down the slope away from the flower. He says, "Cause if I shoot it in there, then they might, you know."
I mean, let's see what you're working with. Like, let's take a couple practice shots at something. So let's find something that may be difficult to hit. So I want Jasper to kind of like just kind of scan and see if there's something that would be challenging to hit, but not impossible. Kind of just to boost his confidence, to help boost Delf's confidence. Like, let's find something difficult, but not impossible.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as something that's not flower, but flower adjacent at the very least, is you can see that there is a tree like a ways down the hill. It's dead, but you know how old trees have like knots that grow on them and stuff like that? This tree has a very prominent knot kind of midway up the trunk that's even ringed, not quite like a bullseye, but in the way that a tree knot would be. It's quite a precise shot, but it's not nearly as far away as the flower and is a little bigger.
All right. So I lean over to Delf. All right, Delf. You see that tree over there?
Uh-huh.
I want you to try to hit that knot right in the center.
All right. Yeah, I think I could do that. Let me just and he takes the bow and he steadies himself to the side. And the kind of, thin, gangly lad takes on a different demeanor when he takes out the bow. His back muscles are so defined you can see them through his jerkin. And as he draws the string back, it's like, this is a big frickin' bow. This is over 100-pounder. And he manages to draw it back without his arms quivering. He sights down it for about 3 seconds and then lets it fly. The arrow whips through the air, and while it doesn't hit the knot, it gets within about a foot of it. Not a bad shot, especially considering you guys are standing at about 75 yards away. He says, "Not very good, but I need to warm up."
Well, that's point of practice. I think it's an excellent shot you make there. We will need to get you to, again, you have to make sure you're aiming for that knot. Make sure you're staying focused. And I want to kind of use my, I have a trick shot ability.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of want to use it to kind of help motivate him. So I want to bounce one of my shots off of something to hit that knot.
Cool. What do you want to bounce it off of? You obviously have some other like stony features. You have other potential trees or shrubs. What are you thinking?
Yeah, if there's like if there's like a statue or something nearby, like a some sort of statue or monument, that I want to ricochet it off. I want to ricochet it twice if possible, if you'll let me do that. I want to ricochet it off one statue and off another one, and hit and try. And I want to try to hit the center of the knot and just show him. And then if if being successful, letting him know like, hey, this basically, the obstacles are not the problem. It's your mindset.
Now, as you're doing so, there's a perfect object to bank off of. Do you know what a milestone looks like? Like a medieval style milestone? Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a set of those that are leading up the road to this place before it kind of fades away to just crappy path. Like end markers for this section of road. So you could bank off of those two and then hit the knot if you would like.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Nice. And my other question is, what is going to be your paired action for this trick shot? Trick shot wants a flourish of some kind. So talk me through what the flourish will be with your revolver before you take the shot.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin it in my hand like a fancy Western. Yeah. So he's going to spin it and just, and then kind of like, and look away too. He's not even going to look at the target. He's going to look away and just do like one of those numbers.
Yeah.
He just turns around.
And as you do so, there's a sharp ping, ping, and then there's a dull thunk. And you see that Delf pushes up his hair to get a better look at it and spies down. He says, What did you just shoot? What? There was a big crack, but there's no arrow."
So I said, well, I'm from a different place. Our arrows are a little different, a little smaller, more compact, but still packs a punch.
That sounds convenient. He says, that was a really good shot.
Like I said, all of his confidence doesn't have to do. Well, again, you're too much in here. You need to start making sure you're focusing Just know where you're hitting.
He looks kind of
Imagine you making that shot.
bashful and says, "Well, why don't you just be king? You're clearly good enough."
I ain't designed to be no king. But I for sure want to see you upon that throne. So I want to do whatever I can to help you. This isn't meant to discourage you. This is meant to show you that with just a little bit of confidence, you can do anything.
Thanks. Thanks. He seems kind of giddy at it. However, as Herman is shaking his head, Soul, actions you would like to take during target practice with Jasper before we jump back to Herman.
I think Soul would kind of, seeing Delf is getting some instruction from someone who knows what they're doing, and something weird going on with the arrows. Probably just keeping an eye on the perimeter. We were warned about entourages wanting to probably mess with, and we know that we're making noise. So yeah, just kind of keeping an eye on where the entourages are and what they're doing.
And it's a good thing Soul was, because you have like a left path and a right path that lead up to two of the promontories that entourages are camped at. And as he looks, he can see flashes of metal in both directions. The sound of the gunshot has brought eyes towards you.
So yeah, probably shout out, maybe not shout so much as just like, trouble comes.
And
further stride
actions from
forward
Soul.
To like meet it.
Yeah. Does he want to go left path or right path?
Oh, he's gonna stand at the fork.
Yeah. But what he notices is, as again, like the two factions kind of send their whatever scouts of whatever kind picking their way down through the sides of the mountain steep, you would spot that again they're moving slowly and cautiously. It's treacherous terrain. It's kind of a miracle they were able to get up there in the first place. But as they do so, Soul would see that both sets of them don't come close enough to strike. Instead, they wield crossbows, and they set up camp, just aiming down and waiting. They don't signal to each other, but it seems that both factions had a very similar idea.
Well, looking up at them, you underestimate the speed at which fire spreads. And this is an activation of Limit Break.
Sick.
Limit Break allows me to greatly enhance my speed at the cost of additional stamina expenditure. Optionally, I can teleport right next to an enemy. So as I start rushing forward, I will then teleport, we'll say left.
All right. And as you start to rush up the side of the path, moving at unbelievable speed, you would teleport, blurring out of sight. And where are you wanting to appear? There's like 3 crossbowmen. Each of them are like 2 strides away from each other, camped out behind like little rocky outcroppings and small scrubs and the like. What do you want to do?
Yeah, teleport behind like the very first one and just go for like a hard neck chop, and then turn toward the next one, rush, dive toward them for like a tackle, take their crossbow, smash them over the face.
A quick question before we go further with that. What do your training weights look like?
They are heavy iron beads around his wrists and like Akuma style around his neck.
So when you do a neck chop, you are actually doing an iron bead to the back of the head chop, effectively, like thong, right? Yeah. The man is wearing a sallet with like a neck guard on it, but you also have triple plus to might. And as such, you leave the imprint of those beads in the back of his sallet as you send him like skidding forwards down the side of the slope. Zooming over to the next one, like wrenching the crossbow out of his hand is child's play. It's not particularly elegantly done. You don't have a high skill set. You just kind of grab and yank. The crossbow goes off, twang, and goes like launching off. The third one is yelling in alarm. With crossbow wrenched out of his hand, you're still moving at blinding speed. What do you want? You said you want to just bonk him with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You break the crossbow in the process. Immediate actions. You don't know if the third one has crossbow trained on you. What do you want to do?
Are there like trees? I imagine
there's like low scrub because this is up the sheer slope of this outcropping.
All right. So yeah, I'm still moving pretty fast, but yeah, not sure if I'm gonna be getting shot at. So kind of trying to like duck quickly behind some shrub, and then dart forward again.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a good thing that you did, because as you zoom behind the scrub, the crossbow bolt whizzes up over your head, and as you pop back out, you see that the crossbowman obviously knows he's not going to get a reload off in time, and so instead he pulls out a small mace and goes to whirl it above his head as he like scrabbles for a horn at his side, yelling at the top of his lungs.
So yeah, want to easiest way. I wish you could see my legs, but basically kneel by throwing my right leg back.
Yep.
Drawing my sword, which is an ancestral blade, a Gion style sword that is like a time worn legendary weapon, not activating at all, just swinging for the belly as I try to get under whatever his swing might have been.
Yep, absolutely. And his swing is not elegant, neither is yours, but you're moving incredibly fast. And as such, even though he's wearing enough like chest armor that your blade doesn't just cleave him in half, it does cave the chest armor in very heavily and just throws him off of his feet once again. It's at this point that limit break is probably starting to wear towards its end. Immediate follow-ups once you've dealt with these 3 crossbowmen.
Is this last guy dead or just down?
He is tumbling down the side of the rocky outcropping, which is as good as dead.
Cool. Turning back towards the other group, can I see them at all, or am I, having gone up the left side, can't see the right side?
You can see the right side, but we'll see what you see in a moment. Reason being, jumping over to Herman, after writing your enchantment across these 3 arrows. Actions you want to take before Soul sounds the alarm. This is just before he would do so.
So, I assume there's like a gust of wind where I'm like, the breeze is really strong. We might want to get moving. Anyway, kid, here's some arrows for when you inevitably screw up. They are magically designed to be tracking towards flowers. So as long as you hit in the general area, it's going to be more likely to hit the thing. This is just for when you inevitably mess up, kid. Don't worry. You'll get this because of my magic. Not because of any skill you have.
No, thanks. Thank you. Yeah, this is great.
Of course.
Right, all right. And he starts to load them up back into his goat. At the same time, however, this would be when Soul would say, trouble afoot, and goes off he holds still for a moment. He hasn't yet gone off running towards the left. Herman, Soul's words would mean that you could notice the incoming threats, though they're still a little ways away, and you don't pick them out beautifully. You just see a little bit of movement to the right, little bit of movement to the left. Nasty, difficult road leading in both directions. What would you like to do?
Okay, I'm gonna look at Jasper. All right, seems like a fight's about to come, and these old bones ain't for fighting. Trust me, I got in a car wreck one time. It was terrible. I'm not doing that again. Here's what we're gonna do, kid. You're gonna take them on. You're gonna go find Soul, and then I'm gonna take this guy, and we're gonna just start heading in the right direction. I would use a fork in the road to find the best path to get us to where we can safely, basically get to the point that we need to be, so we can start shooting some arrows for the event.
Best way to safely take a shot. And what is your guess based on what you've
we have to
so
get.
Far?
I was saying we have to get up the ridge because that's about where everybody else is going to be. And my guess is if we're around a bunch of other people, they're not going to be blatantly trying to attack us, right? This is more of a stealth trying to attack us. So I'm trying to, so whatever path gets us quickest to where people are and that are on top of the ridge.
Yeah, absolutely. And as Herman does so, the vision of fork in the road would quickly suffuse him. But it's maybe one that he did not fully expect. He sees before him, often fork in the road is quite metaphorical, but in this case he actually does see quite a proper fork. It's as though the world kind of tilts one direction, then the other. In the direction of one tilt, as his kind of vision shifts and slurs, he can see a high podium, right? This is where the metaphor kicks in. But on the other side, as it tilts again, it goes from a high podium worthy of Olympus to a low spring. Water, moving water, close to the ground, quite unremarkable. A podium has eyes on it, and this other one does not. And in that tilt, he can almost feel the of options before him. What would he like to do as the fork in the road ends?
Well, I mean, we should probably go head towards Olympus. That makes the most sense. And if there's a bunch of eyes on it, and it's top, and it's Olympus, I mean, come on, the babbling brook. I'm not the god of brooks.
And would he like to start trying to make his way to the right then? It is the clear path to take.
Yeah, so I'm gonna like use my walking stick and start like, come on, let's go, come on.
And he's, oh, but gee, I don't, maybe this isn't a great idea.
Come on, kid, let's go.
As he's doing so, jumping in with Jasper as well. Jasper has also, of course, heard the call to alarm, and actions that he would like to take as Herman is starting to like poke Delf up the path.
Before I head out, I just kind of lean over to Delf. I'm like, go with him. He's a crass old man, but he's been around. He knows what he's doing, but just remember, don't let him get too much in your head. There's only enough room for one person, and it's got to be you. It can't be anybody else.
All right. Okay. All right. Out of my head. And
so,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, and then I was gonna try to get close to where Soul was, and kind of like do a maybe a standoff a little bit, like, or if
Yep.
like well, I guess I don't need to do a standoff. I just want to get close to Soul where I can kind of like evaluate like potential threats in the area,
Yeah.
so I can be of use in combat.
As you are moving towards Soul takes off on a run and vanishes. He like blurs to nothing in front of your eyes, and then you hear screams as he appears among the like enemy scout contingent on the left side. He is dispatching them at speed and seems like a monster in combat. That said, the right side still has threats, and in fact, you would hear the faint zip of a crossbow quarrel whipping through the air. It doesn't come like particularly close to Delf and to Herman, instead landing in the grasses a little ways away from them as a warning shot.
Okay.
Delf would
So what I'm
stop in his tracks.
okay.
Yep, Jasper.
So I think what Jasper's gonna do is kind of find maybe a little an area where he can get like maybe a good shot off at kind of like start. I think I'm gonna use my shootout ability where my gun just kind of pulls, like my revolver was put away, but it just kind of pops in my hand.
Yep.
And I want to start shooting at these people and trying to nail them,
Yeah.
like take them down. Maybe not necessarily kill them, but like definitely to, especially if they're going to be participants in the, shooting the flower. I want them to like be wounded where they're out of commission completely, or at least will have a very difficult. Like I increase the difficulty in them actually achieving hitting the flower.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're shooting at a range of about 50 yards, which isn't like the worst thing in the world, but it's still enough that if you want to be really accurate about this, you will have to be deliberate with your shots. Are you going for like spray and just like trying to pepper the area? Or are you trying
Oh
to
no,
be
I'm
accurate?
shooting at specific parts. Yeah, I'm like shooting for like arms, hands. Like I'm trying to get pinpoint specific locations on their bodies where I'm not just like against a revolver. So I've got to it's gonna have kickback. It's not like it's not automatic. So it's like I'm gonna have to like be cautious and intentional with my shots.
Absolutely. And after the first three, just like you do manage to get one of the crossbowmen. He screams and he yells something to the others, and you can see that the other two begin to fall back, rushing up the ridge as fast as they can while holding their crossbows under their arms. Are you going to be shooting at them as they retreat as well?
Well, I was taught never to shoot people in the back, so probably not.
Yeah. The one that you took through the leg, you can see has like pulled out a handkerchief and waves it above his head in a clear sign of surrender. He doesn't have his crossbow in hand. What would Jasper like to do?
Being the gentleman that he is, he's gonna go and actually help patch this guy up if possible.
Yeah.
He's gonna like help him treat the wound.
Now, a question. I noticed on Jasper's sheet that he has a horse. Now, obviously,
He does.
we can say he can call it in with a whistle if he'd like to use it. But is he going to be riding up the ridge or just walking up the ridge?
You know, and actually that was something I was going to talk about. Was like, yeah, I'm gonna whistle and like just that typical old western, double pinky in the
Yeah,
mouth type of
exactly.
whistle for my horse, and he will ride up there because again, he doesn't want the guy to bleed out. He doesn't want him to die, but he wants to make sure, like basically, he's giving you that disappointed father kind of thing, like shouldn't have done that.
And what is the horse's name and what does it look like?
My horse's name is gonna be Buckaroo.
Nice.
And it is Buckaroo is going to be like because this is kind of thematically with my character is a lot of like uncertainty. So it's gonna be like a horse that's got black and white splotches on it. I'm not sure what type of horse that is. I'm not a horse person, so
Yeah.
I don't think it's Palomino, but something of that nature. It's gonna be like just a kind of a big horse where it's just got like black and white spots like on it, just to indicate kind of like the duality of like to reflect the duality of Jasper's life.
Yeah, like he has a dove and a crow interlocked
Crow locked in battle, yeah.
as a symbol. Yeah.
I thought a lot about this character.
Yeah, I could tell. It's a very organized character. Now, as you go galloping up the ridge, Buckaroo would have at times a trouble finding his footing. However, given that this is a saddled horse, they're meant for it to be endurance beasts. They're rather sure-footed. It would be able to find his footing and make his way up the ridge towards the soldier who has dropped his handkerchief, or rather is now using the handkerchief to try to bind his leg as best as he can. You can see him grimacing in pain. It does not look like you've hit any major arteries, but you got him clean through the calf. As you are riding up to it, anything that you would like to say or do before we jump back to Sol and then to Herman when Frank is back?
I'm just gonna look down at the guy. I was like, and just say, well, I reckon you found out, so you just can't do that kind of stuff. That's improper. It's not. There's no etiquette. I think you should. Hopefully, you've learned your lesson.
He says, "It was a warning shot. Did you want me to shoot at the boy through the head?"
Oh, this was also a warning shot, just so you know. This could have ended very badly for you.
And as you do so, he looks at you, catches your eye, and looks genuinely intimidated. And he says, "You think that... you think that..." And then he gestures to the wound. "You can do this to a company of 20 men. He says, "You are outgunned. You are outnumbered. We don't have firearms the likes of that. But we have numbers, sir. And I would recommend you pull away while you can. I say this not to be a threat. I am simply a man in the Baron's employ."
I appreciate the warning, but I will tell you right now, I've had my fill of gentlemen like your Baron, and I don't like when people take advantage of those who are just trying to do their duty. So I reckon you maybe run along back to your Baron and let him know that if he continues doing such things, he's next. And it won't be as pretty as this is.
"Well, you will probably be meeting him soon enough." He says,
Perfect.
"I myself, with your leave, sir," he pushes his crossbow away from himself, "take to cover." And he pulls himself over towards a nearby rocky knoll that he can tuck himself away in. Actually, before I jump to Sol, jumping back to Herman, the warning shot obviously froze Delf in his tracks for the moment. But after you hear shots going off from behind you, Jasper would take down one of the three crossbowmen that had been sent to meet you. The other two go running off, and then you hear the sound of hoofbeats as Jasper comes rushing up past you on a horse that seems to have been summoned in from nowhere. Delf, seemingly somewhat encouraged by the fact that no one is currently shooting at him, looks behind you and says, "So, do we go up that away? Really?"
Yes, kid. Listen, you're good. There's arrows flying everywhere. You got to get used to it. All right. Let's just keep going. Come on.
Okay. And as he starts to make his way up the hill, his little pack animal is very nimble on the stones. It has absolutely no problem at all. That said, he's not quite so nimble. Even though he's a great shot and great with a bow, he's not necessarily a very sure-footed kid. And in many cases has to fall to his knees and like pull himself up on like slurries of pebbles and stones. On the other hand, while of course Herman is not necessarily the most nimble, spry fellow himself, for whatever reason, no stones go out from under his feet. He has a much easier time, especially given that he's not going at particularly great speed. Actions he'd like to take if the two of you are struggling up the ridge.
Oh, okay, kid. You're too many problems here. All right, you can have one problem, but like more than that, and it's a problem. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Have you ever heard the tale of Hermes, the messenger god? You can say no, kid. It's fine.
No.
Okay, that's fine. All right, I'm gonna reach into my satchel and pull out some shoes that have the like wings of Hermes on them.
Yeah.
When in actuality they're just hover boots, and allow one to just hover across maybe like 2 feet above the ground. But listen, kid, these are magic boots. There can only be, and I look over at Jasper for a second. They can only be worn by the true king. And if you put them on and you're the true king, you'll hover, and then you won't have to worry about the rocks anymore.
Really?
Sure.
Really?
Kid, listen, I just give the messages. I'm not really a hope guy, all right? Just put on the dang shoes.
Okay. And he starts to peel off his boots. Now, I will say, as you might imagine, hover boots are a pretty strong thing to pull out of a satchel. Fortunately, that you are coming off of a futuristic setting, so it makes it slightly more likely. But I will say, it's strong enough. Your satchel is not going to be able to get anything out of it for a decent while. Maybe towards the end of the mission, you'll be able to get something else out of it. Make sense?
Wasted it on this kid.
However, as he peels off his scruffy shoes, and he takes them and with trembling hands kind of slides them onto his feet. They're big for him, as you might expect, and kind of gets clumsily to his feet. So, do I just walk now?
You click the heels, kid. Come on.
Oh, of course. He clicks them and almost trips, and immediately starts to like slowly up into the air. Look, it's working! It's working!
I can't believe it. It's like the legend foretold or
Yeah, I
whatever.
can't believe it either. This is great news. He kind of like trips in midair almost and like slides back to the ground. Oops. And as he does so, he says, "No, we can go up now. Here, let's go up." And he starts to like awkwardly climb partially in midair to get up through, like up the ridge. He is about as clumsy as he was before, but at least he's faster now, and his goat goes skipping along happily next to him.
I gave him stuff that causes him to not trip, and he still tripped.
Yep.
All right.
This means that Herman is going to have to actually move a little faster to catch up, and his luck doesn't hold out quite this far, especially with extra speed. He would feel his own feet slipping out from under him occasionally, and the distance between him and Delf increases slightly. He would, however, pass by a trail of blood that leads past where Jasper had just been standing on his horse to a small cleft nearby where you hear groaning inside. Ugh.
It'll leave a waypoint, just be like, if you don't hear back from me, by the time you see this, I'm dead, and I'm just going to start walking into where the blood is.
That's awesome. Jumping back over to Soul. After beating the tar out of the trio that you were dealing with, immediate follow-ups from you on the left-hand ridge.
Yep. So I think I was looking back toward the right-hand side.
Yep. This is when you
guess
see
I saw...
the scouts starting to pull back after one gets shot by Jasper. What would you like to do?
What is back up left? Is there... Do I hear anything? I don't have any sensory.
Oh, you don't hear anything per se, but besides the distant sound of like yelled voices on that side, there's definitely more people there. At a vague guess, more than half a dozen?
And it's only scrubland, so it's going to be pretty hard to sneak up on them.
Quite.
I think I'm going to turn back and just jog back toward the Jasper, presumably.
Yeah, you have a plus to reflex, I believe, which means that jogging down this treacherous slope is not quite as bad as it could be, but even so, Soul would have to catch his footing as he goes down, sliding on certain places, and then skidding down on others, and going down to, like, his knee on another in a baseball slide. But he'd get to the bottom, jog across, and begin going up the far ridge. Even though he would not catch up to Jasper, who is on a horse, he would be able to catch up to Herman just after Herman passes that blood trail. Herman, you would hear Soul's heavy footsteps, like beating against the packed earth behind you as he is charging up. Like, again, not at enormous speed, but he has triple plus to vigor, so a jog for him is a run for many people. Actions that Herman would like to take as Soul is coming up behind him.
I'm just going to keep walking until I get to whatever thing is causing the bleed.
Yeah, absolutely. And Soul would see Herman moving offside, and this would be just as Herman comes into view of the shot scout, who is still trying to find a way to staunch the bleeding on his leg. He has like a small sword that's laying uselessly at his side, and as he looks up towards you, he says, "Come to finish me off, have you?"
No, I just wanted to make sure you weren't one of my people. That's really the important thing here.
Oh.
And I poke his leg with my walking stick. Yeah, let's think about this. If an old man is already hurting you, I don't think you're off to a good start. So let's have a little fun talk here. What do you know, and then maybe I can help you out.
You can. Well, I will give you some of what you look for, but I will not give you my name. I will not be having the Baron know who has sold him in.
Baron, got it.
Baron Wreath, his name is. He has come here
Baron
yearly to attempt this feat for 9 years, I believe.
Yeah, Save the backstory for later. What's he doing?
Shooting, of course. He came out here with, I believe, 500 arrows, and is taking shots throughout the hour.
Right, but then, why are you doing some shady stuff,
He says, he's paid me well. We are bodyguard to him to ensure that there are no ne'er-do-wells who interrupt the shooting or have an opportunity to get it themselves. There are a few other noblemen around here that have contracted similar help. We do not want a bloodbath. We're not going to deal with them. But for ones like a young fellow that you're with, usually a shot nearby will scare them off.
Ah, I see. Any other members of you? How many were there? How many scouts of you?
He says, in my company? He says,
yes.
The Baron contracts 18 of us, I'd say.
Jeez. All right. Well, and I stand up. You hear the multiple of my joints pop.
Crack.
Okay. I'm just gonna start walking away.
He says, and about the help that I was promised.
Oh, see, this is where you get your first lesson in dealing with strangers. When I said I might be able to help, I was being very sincere. I might. But now that I look at it, I don't think I can.
You rotten scruff. He goes for his side sword and is in no state to chase you.
If you can't outwalk an old man, you're not going to make it far in this world, kid.
Wait till I get my hands on you. He tries to drag himself out of the cleft after you, but you can at a brisk, not even a brisk pace, at a stroll, you can easily keep ahead of him. As you are doing so, Jasper, you are currently at the lead of the group. Where do you want to be riding Buckaroo to? Are you riding him all the way up the ridge, or are you doubling back to catch up with the rest of your team?
I think I'm gonna go back and meet up now that I think that I've chased them off well enough. I feel like to make sure they're nowhere near where Delf was. I think I'm gonna head back to just kind of meet up with them. Just kind of regroup a little bit. And by the way, Frank, I'm really glad that you're portraying your character based upon how I get up and stuff when I pop my legs and everything because I'm so old. So appreciate it.
Art imitates life, man.
That's right.
You would not see Herman when you kind of come back in view, but you would see Delf wobbling partially in midair. He says, "Look!" as he does so and kind of staggers against a tree. "Look at this! Look! The boots of the king, true destined king, or whatever he said they were. This is good. This is a very good sign.
There's some really fancy boots you got there. Far fancier than any ones I've ever owned. So they look good
Yes.
on you, kid. So
I'm
just
gonna
make
get-
sure that when you're wearing them, and if you're gonna use them, in the challenge, try to stabilize. Make sure. I'm glad you're practicing now because
Oh,
when
yes.
you're ready to take the shot, you're gonna need to be stable.
Of course, I'm going to have to take him off. I think just I haven't quite got the hang of him yet. He's like leaning partially against Buckaroo, trying to get himself like back upright. Kind of like imagine wearing water wings like on your feet and swimming. You know, they keep wanting to go up. However, as he's doing so with his goat kind of trotting up next to him, he would kind of bracing himself against Buckaroo say, "So, does this mean the fellow up here? We're good to go? Can I just go take my shots?"
Well, I reckon we best wait for everyone to regroup completely. There's a baron. It appears to be looking to take out his competition. It feels.
All right. Maybe
So,
I could just show
don't
him
lose
these.
hope though.
He points to the shoes.
You have us.
Yeah, I have you, and I have these. He points to the shoes. He says, and I can hit it. Remember, we were talking about this. I can hit it.
All right. Well, let's. I think I love that confidence. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. There's only one person in
so
my
let's
head now.
Perfect, and it's you, right? It's no one else, right?
He looks concerned for a second and says, "Yeah." And it's at this point that
Perfect.
Soul comes jogging up the ridge. Jasper would be able to appreciate just how insanely fast Soul is. The man is like an Olympic level sprinter in terms of his speed. He's not even looking like he's trying, and he's legging it up this ridge.
I had to run away from a doomsday cult, and I was never that fast.
As Soul comes like into easy earshot, actions Jasper would like to take, and then actions Soul would like to take.
So I think I want to kind of just. I think I'm gonna help Delf get the boots off a little bit, and maybe have it, and then like I want him to keep practicing putting them on and practicing. I want to help him get used to wearing the boots and using them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And as you are doing so, and Soul comes into position as well, any actions that Soul would like to take now that he has come up alongside Delf and Jasper?
Probably not approvingly, like learning to fly. Very effective fighting technique. Is there higher up to go?
Yes, there is. You guys have like one more shelf of rock, and then you'd be at the top of this ridge. It seems to flatten out up there at a guess, but now that you've seen what your enemies are equipped with, it looks extremely defensible.
Shall we get up there?
Yeah, I think it's best that we head up there. I'm sure Herman will catch up. It may take him a minute, but he'll get there.
And no sooner does Jasper say this than Herman would come strolling around the corner. Jasper would also hear the distant sounds of the injured man cursing after him. Herman, coming into view of your full team, any actions you would like to take?
Yeah, so there's like a good chunk of these guys that are going to be all over the place. And honestly, that's just one group. There's probably many more that are going to be doing this. If we could find a spot to set up for a second, I might be able to get us a map of all the potential people that we have to deal with. And then we can figure, oh God, one of you is going to help an old man.
And Delf drops his bow and comes hurrying over. Here, I'll help. He doesn't have the shoes on at the moment, so he doesn't go sliding all over the place. And he puts an arm underneath. And even though, again, he's scrawny and small, this is a time where his back muscles kick in, and he actually can lift almost all of the weight off of Herman's feet. There you go.
Yeah, great job, kid. Can I have the boots back?
Oh, yeah, but because now we know that they work and that I'm the stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he like helps you up and he gently sets you down and he takes the boots and dusts them off and then like rubs them a little clean with his shirt and then hands them to me. Here you go.
Thanks, kid. I'm just going to put them back in the satchel. All right, boys. Let me get my map out, and I would like to have the map of the detailed area. That if it's possible, is it able to show maybe not necessarily every single hostile, but can show the. We've talked about this. There's like 4 or 5 potential people who can make the shot. Can
Mhm.
I just get the points on the map where they're likely to be set up?
That's an excellent question. I will give that to you, specifically because the map will show their camps. And at the point
Great.
where each of them are shooting, there are racks upon racks upon racks of arrows waiting for them. And so, because of that, on your ridge, you guys are below like a heavy shelf. Right up the shelf, there is an array of like palisades, like low, small palisades, more like mantlets than anything else. And that is right in front of a small tent camp. And then right at the head of the tent camp, that's where the shots are taking place. So you would have to go through like a ready defensible barrier. Then they have a similar set of barriers on the far side of their camp.
All right. So the question we have is, do we want to get ahead of this a little bit? Maybe one person stays back. Maybe none of us stay back, and we just hope the kid can do it on his own.
Delf goes, "Oh." He says, "Well, they probably don't think." He points over towards Herman. They don't probably think you're a problem because you don't have a weapon.
Yeah. No weapon.
He nods.
Jasper, Soul, what do you think?
Soul's gonna look up and look down. Why don't we go straight up?
Right, no, but I'm saying we got to get rid of the competition. Is one of us going to stay with the boy? Do all of us go? When we can give him a little thing, and I show like one of my waypoints. Um, if he feels not encouraged, then you can say an encouraging word to the kid, and then he can just touch it, and he'll hear the encouraging word.
Oh,
Look, I'm
that
just
sounds
saying.
like a great idea. And he points to Jasper. Could you do one?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
And then,
I just throw one at Jasper, and it, like it's his torso.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he has the skill to be able to catch it for sure. Boom. Like, what do your waypoints look like? Just as a point of interest.
They're probably like circles with an H on them.
Nice. Yeah, like a little
Mhm.
monogram. Cool. And other things that Herman would like to say from here, because obviously Soul said he wants to barge straight in, and Jasper seems to be taking point on uh, helping out Delf for the moment.
I just say that if you got a group you're already going with, just point them on the map, and I'll go to a different group. I might have some connections with that group that can get me at least inside their encampment if need be.
And as Herman is saying this, obviously Soul, for his part, would, have decent understanding of his own capacities. The camp doesn't look, based on Herman's map, this isn't like a group of like 5 bros, right? This is a small military company. And the others look similar. Um, and so whether Soul thinks that he can take one of those by himself is up to him. Um, Especially because he doesn't necessarily know exactly what all of what Jasper is capable of yet. So perhaps between the two, he would make the assessment he could do it. In terms of what else Herman would see on the map would actually reveal something quite interesting, which is that even though the rises of these high ridges are very treacherous and hard to get to, it's very easy to go down low into the actual like cradled valley, like the small cradled valley where the lake is. And that lake has several small rivers kind of drifting away from it in a couple different directions that cut between the great ridges, and in some cases go underneath great arches of rock, almost like a natural forming bridge. All of the ridges are connected to each other by these high treacherous roads.
Is there any opportunity for like pincer attack?
If one of you could get like all the way around this high ridge, yes. However, um, that said, Soul would not have seen multiple dead bodies, and as such, presumably some of the scouts that were over here got back to the base, and they know of your presence. So it would be quite risky to do that when they could jump out at any moment.
Well, he would probably still mention I could get around quickly. We could come at them from both sides.
Or we're just going after one. There's like several of them, aren't there? Like We're gonna. That's fine. I'll go, and I'm just gonna start putting on my boots.
Yep.
So,
And as you are doing so, um, Jasper, what message would you like to put into the waypoint?
Uh, just
Has
just
to
to
be
remind him that
5 words long.
5 words long. Okay. Stay in your own head.
Awesome. I love it. On the nose. And after
I
passing
count
it,
it, Frank.
yeah. And after passing it to him, he pushes his hair out of his eyes and he says, thank you for this so much. You're really kind."
Well, I've been on the other side of kindness where, but not so beautiful. So I'm doing what I can to help the world a little bit. One person at a time is all it takes.
Well, I mean it, sir. I'm really grateful, and I'll try my best to return the favor if I can, even if that just means fresh cheese from the farm.
I love cheese.
Don't we all? And as he is saying this, he beckons over his little goat, and he shoulders his bow, and he kind of gets low behind a scrub, clearly waiting for the opportunity to get up into a good shooting position. Jasper, follow-ups that you'd like to take? Obviously, Sol has been describing a pincer movement. Herman is clearly booting up and getting ready to go elsewhere. What would you like to do?
Well, I think I'm going to. So did Sol want me to be a part of this pincer movement as well? Like, is it all three of us, or just is this more of a Herman and
If anything, it would
Sol
probably be
thing?
more of a Sol Jasper thing.
Sol, okay, cool. So I'll look over at Sol. I'm like, all right, I reckon we can attempt that. I'm pretty good at distances. I'm not great up close, so I would need to keep my distance from them. Because if I get too close, my aim's not so good. I'm better. I'm farsighted. So
Well, keep them off me. I'll be in close.
beautiful. I'll do my best.
Where's Sol gonna head to?
So Soul is going to say a quick small prayer of Seraphel's light. Speed me to your embrace. Summoning my flying cloud, which is small enough for me to stand on and is going to fly me where I want to go.
Yep.
I'm going to use
Loop
that
around.
to zip around to the other side.
As he goes rocketing away, Delf would say, trying not to yell, he's like, "Whoa, that seems useful." But as he zips out of sight, Jasper, given that you wouldn't be able to see Sol, what is going to be your cue? And are you because obviously you're below the ridge, like the high shelf rather of rock where the camp is. So you'll have to figure out not only when you want to pop up, but also where. So do you want to get as close as you can, stay low and then get up over the side, or think about how you want to approach this?
Yeah, I think what he'd want to do, he'd want to definitely get in a position where he has some sort of cover,
Yeah.
but he's far enough away where his shots will stay true, but he has a good the best line of sight he can get, basically. Even if it's not perfect, he just needs a line of sight on the targets. So he would probably just kind of look at where Soul is going and kind of maintain an equal distance, just doing that pincer movement and just looking at how to
Yep.
best coordinate it.
As he is climbing up the rocky shelf to get into firing sight, is he going to be climbing one-handed with his revolver out, or is he stowing his revolver for the moment to climb two-handed?
That's a good question. I'm going to. I think I'm probably gonna put it away and then have to pull it back out. I think.
Yeah. In that case, as he starts climbing, he would also be able to see that Delf down below has positioned himself pretty neatly out of sight, so someone looking down from the shelf would not be able to see him. But Herman, you have the hover boots on now. I could see this being maybe a bit nostalgic for him. Although I don't know, now that he's in a cyberpunk future, maybe he gets to use these all the time.
yeah, everybody does it. They thought I was cute naming them after me. I don't know. Don't even get royalties for it.
And with hover boots now on, he could either move. So the camp that's being pincered on, I'm guessing, is not the one he wants to try to infiltrate. He could go left to the camp that Soul bashed the scouts of. They're probably on alert. Or he could go past this camp further right and like wrap around the ring of ridges overlooking the lake.
Yeah, I want to go to basically whichever one hasn't already been kind of dealt with. If there's another encampment I can go to.
Yeah.
And then my hope is I would like to use my familiar face feature, and hope that there is another version of a reincarnated Greek god here. I have an idea that Demeter would really enjoy this place right now.
It is certainly quite beautiful. Now, as you are looping your way around like this section of the ridge, you quickly find the path on the other side. While Herman is not able to move at tremendous speed, the fact that he can now hover for a few steps means he doesn't have to worry about his feet going out from under him, and therefore he keeps a decent clip. More notably, as we are soon to see, when the fight breaks out, he's going to be on like the opposite side of the ridge from where the fighting is happening, and so he actually has rather a peaceful little trip onto that side, down a lovely little path, overlooking the beautiful vista and landscape, carnage happening behind him at a safe distance, and then up the yeah, exactly, and then up the far slope up towards the newest encampment, one of the ones that no one of your group has interacted with yet. Even as you approach it, you can actually see a man in armor standing at a place of honor, shooting and shooting and shooting, pouring arrows down towards the little island below, and like every time he shoots, watches, reaches out a hand, and like a bored-looking squire is just like passing arrow after arrow after arrow to him. Now, as you're approaching this camp, you can see that they do have guards. They do have like little outposts, but none of them pay you any heed whatsoever. You're an old man with a stick and some funky-looking shoes, but they don't even look at the shoes particularly. It's not like you're hovering way high above their head. It's not a super standout set of hovering you're doing. What sort of person are you looking for as you're coming up into their camp?
Probably like some sort of, if they have a guard, like the guard captain or something like that. Because knowing Demeter, he's lazy, but he also wants a little bit of power. You know, he wants to have some authority that people can like pseudo worship him with. But he's also like, he's not trying to become king. Just wants to party all day. So just looking for the guy who's.
If you're thinking traditional Greek, it sounds more like Dionysus if you're going for partying.
Dionysus. Sorry, listen, this is what happens when you do a very quick Google search. Yes. But regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you are kind of trotting up, however, one of the kind of outposts would kind of flag you down. Excuse me, I need to do a quick search of your person. You don't have any projectile weapons on you?
No.
Can I take a quick check?
I just kind of like, you know, like turn in the air, like on a Lazy Susan, just.
And they look at each other. One of them says, "Well, where do you think he'd be hiding them?" The other says, "I don't know. It's protocol." But as he's saying so, he says, "Well, go on then through, old man. If you're begging, we might have something for you. If you're looking for, I don't know, selling wares or something, I'll meet you later when it's not my shift."
Question: do you know anybody who? I mean, they probably Dionysus. No, maybe probably goes by another name. At this
No
point,
one here has died yet. I promise you.
Okay, got it. Yep, different name, of course. It's difficult. Hypothetically, if someone had a lot of wine, where would they be?
They look at each other and roll their eyes, and one of them says, "Third tent on the left."
Thank you, and I just hover at.
As you do so, one of them says, "How's he doing that?" And the other one says, "Probably some conjurer peddler. If you want one for your kid, then you can go get it later." As you kind of like noot your way into camp, the third tent on the left is not hard to find, nor is the sound of like drinking inside of it. The man inside has quite a beautiful livery on him. He has fine armor. He looks like quite a handsome man, but he also has let himself go like in a big, big way, and he reeks of booze.
Dionysus, buddy, what are you doing in here? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No one's called me that in a long time, my guy. Shit.
Are you already drunk?
Yeah, well, if you know my name, you know the answer to that.
All right, listen here. I don't know how you got involved in this. I mean,
Who
it makes
the
sense
hell
for
is
you.
that?
You're probably,
Who is that?
buddy. I like show him the wings on the boots.
You're old.
Yeah. Shut up. I don't die drinking at the age of what, 24, 25? What's your record at
Listen,
this
it
point?
keeps the body young, right? If I'm going to reincarnate, why bother waiting till I'm 30?
Yeah. Can't imagine being 30. Ugh. Anyway,
He says,
listen.
"You want one?"
Ah,
He offers you a flask.
I'll take it. Put it in my satchel. Look, I have an important task, and if you could help out, I'll make it worth your while, Dai.
Right.
Nai, whatever your name is.
Okay, right now going by Diane.
Diane, got it.
Yeah. They don't know me that way though. To them, I'm Captain Thrall. And he cuts a pose.
Yeah, okay. So here's the thing. I just need you to make sure that your person who's shooting arrows just stop shooting arrows. However you want to do that, I'll give you the creative freedom to do it. See?
Wait. That's what you want? Why?
Eh.
That's like the
Don't worry
hardest
about
thing you could have asked me to do, short of flying.
Can you fly?
No. What do you think?
Okay.
Do I look like I can fly? He pulls at his belt.
I mean, maybe. I'm flying. Regardless, look, if you could just maybe give him less arrows, I don't know, just slow him down, maybe say, hey, there's this old man and you have to come talk to him or something. I don't care how you do it. I just need you to do it, all right?
That's tricky.
Make it worth your while.
I know you, you liar. Up front.
I hate this. Am I able to use my satchel at this point, or is it still not
You could give him your
enough
boots.
time? I was hoping to conjure something, but yeah, I'm like, I look in my satchel, I see the flax he just gave me, so I put that out first.
He says, "Nice try. I'm not that drunk yet."
All right, fine. Here's your boots, and I just throw them at him.
And he goes, "Ooh, ooh." He says, "Here." He kicks one of them back over to you. Half up front, shall we? And he puts the boot on. This way, they're useless to both of us. He kind of like hops in midair a little bit. It's pretty cool. But as he does so, he says, "Now, for context, this guy, this legendary knight who I'm in the service of, he comes out here every year. They have exactly 1 hour during this day of every year to try to hit that damn flower. It's gonna take a lot to pull him away. A lot. You know what I'm saying? So, to that end, do I have to make him stop shooting, or can I just have him not hit it?
Oh, I mean, listen, if you can guarantee that, that's fine with me too. I don't care at this point.
I could guarantee he won't hit it.
Great.
Is that good enough?
Here's the second boot.
There we go. That's my man. He claps you on the shoulder quite hard. But as he does so, he pulls them off. He hovers in place. He kind of turns in a circle.
Now,
says,
I grab him by the loose clothing and bring him back down.
Mm-hmm.
Now, listen, Dai. If you don't do this, you're going to reincarnate a lot sooner than you were expecting.
No, I'm so scared. But don't worry. I'm good for it. Not a liar like you, my man. He says, I've seen enough of your deals go astray that I am disinclined to trust you with that upfront payment, but you cannot name such things for me. The only time that I go back on my word is when I forget.
Listen, the old phrase of don't shoot the messenger. That was me. I started it. Thank you. Still don't shoot me. All right.
Gotcha. No
Even if the message is wrong.
He says, and even better, I'll tell you how I will make him miss. You know how I'll make him miss?
You're going to get him drunk?
Oh, he knows me too well. Don't worry, I have this. Let me just pull myself together. Right. Out of my way, please.
Yeah. I get out of his way.
And he marches out briskly. He has always been a good actor and can pull himself together when he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
Actions Herman would like to take as Captain Frall exits in front of him.
I'm going to stick around for just a little bit longer just to make sure that he is doing what he says he is.
Yep.
And then when I'm confident that he is going to complete the task or has completed the task, I'll make my way up.
Company, assemble! And as a few of the soldiers come up, he gives them a quick pep talk. We've seen the rumors that there's some sort of fracas that is taking place upon some of our rivals' encampments. Keep eyes, men. Be keen, be stern, be swift. And also, I propose that we take our luncheon break presently. My lord, he goes forth and bows low. He says, given that there is the potential to be intruded upon, I would recommend that you take your break now. That way we can make a firm press for it for the remainder of the hour. What say you? And with a little bit of wheedling, the Lord is coaxed away, laying down his great bow. And Captain Frall would immediately bring him a specially prepared meal. The Lord would say, unlike you to do this yourself, Frall. Well, this is a very important day for you, sir. I am trying my best to fulfill my duties. You fulfill your duties, that's a rich one. You wound me, sir. But listen, not a thing will go wrong, and that is what you paid me for, is it not? Yes, I suppose. Now, as this is taking place, jumping back over to the other ridge, Sol and Jasper. Now, Sol, having looped around, you are on the far side of this heavy rocky shelf. How do you want to make your entrance?
Okay, surveying it a bit, what do I see? What's the layout?
So imagine it being like a relatively flat-ish plateau top to this spindly ridge. It's big, right? It's enough for like a camp to be on, but it's not huge. I'd say if I had to give a size to it, imagine it being like two hockey rinks laid side by side. Additionally, the rock leading up to it is quite steep. It was the sort of thing that you would absolutely need to climb were you not on a cloud. And they clearly are relying on that being a very defensible feature.
All right. And the camp itself, I'm assuming grid of tents or something to that effect?
Now, you're only going off of what you can see over the lip of the rock, because obviously if you went higher, they'd see you as well, plus the map that you saw Herman holding. It is a loose smattering of tents with two rows of wooden barricades on either side, and then the shooting position kind of nestled at its center. They also have like a little, what is the word I'm looking for? Pen, right? Off to the side where their pack animals are currently located.
And I'm imagining also a whole shit ton of arrows somewhere.
Oh yes, the racks upon racks upon racks of arrows are what connotes the firing station.
This is going to be so dangerous, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to use my flying cloud to kind of fly up into the air above the camp where they will, in fact, see me.
Oh, yes.
And in case they didn't see me, I am going to activate my gi by shouting out, I come as the champion of the future king.
Oh, dear. And that certainly gets their attention. Now, the gi, could you briefly describe what that does?
Yes, so the gi is a martial arts uniform that can be activated with a resolute shout to generate an energy aura around the user, heightening expressiveness and granting mid-magic protection and a bonus magical damage to unarmed strikes. And it will last until I stop fighting.
And as you rise into place, the shout plus the energy aura grabs eyes immediately. You hear shouts, there's a threat, everyone, 2 arms, 2 arms. And you can see that many of the figures that are on top of the ridge come rushing over. It seemed that they had a perimeter established and were waiting to see what was happening. Now they're starting to congregate in your general direction, and immediately crossbow bolts start zipping towards you.
All right. Next, I'm going to kind of hold my hands out and start gathering my focus and my aura, which is a sort of white fire aura all around me, into my hands as an activation of Ultimate Strike.
Nice. And as you are starting to gather it together, what is going to be your ultimate strike?
So once I have like gathered up a whole big ball of fire in front of my hands, I am going to shout out something to the effect of "Flaming Barrage" and do kind of one of these,
Yeah.
shooting out like punching fireballs down at the crowd below, aiming to hit the arrows and anything else. If I see anybody that looks important, aim at them too.
Yep. Now, obviously, the fireballs don't travel quite as fast as the arrows do, but they're much scarier looking, and people start diving for cover. Tents light up, tufts of grass light up, scrub lights up, and pack animals start to strain and bray inside of their pastures. As this is happening, however, Jasper, by this point, you have climbed up like pretty much right below the lip of the ridge when you hear the distant shout and then the sudden commotion on the top of the shelf. You hear footsteps running away from you as all of them are running towards the other side of the shelf, towards the threat of Soul. What do you want to do?
All right. So again, I don't like shooting people in the back. So, what I do want to do though is, I think what I want to do is not aim for them, but like draw their attention away as well. I kind of want to split them up a little bit, like get them so chaotic, where it's like they have no idea what's going on. We have this guy over here. We have shots being fired behind us, but again, I'm not shooting at them. I just want them to hear the shots. So I'm purposely trying to miss them, just graze them type stuff.
Yep.
Without
So
actually
first of all, are you going to
injuring
be
them.
like getting up onto the shelf immediately, or are you going to be shooting from like right over the edge?
Shoot him right over the edge. I'm going to try to, and also because of my duster, my face is pretty well hidden because of that. So
Yeah.
they wouldn't I'm going to kind of cover my face a little bit with my duster to kind of maintain a little bit of secrecy because because this is the scouts that ran away from me, so they may have saw me initially.
Bingo.
So I'm going to kind of yeah.
Yep, makes total sense. And as shots ring out, you can hear like more shouts of confusion from the soldiers that were running away from this side. Many of them try to hit the deck. A tent post goes down as a bullet pings off of it, and like cloth goes flumping to the ground. And of a sudden, you've split the attention of them once again. You can also see, like through the chaos of what's going on, their guy with his bow is still plunking away, trying to shoot, ignoring all the chaos going on, even as a fireball lances over his head. Now, as Jasper has drawn some attention, he's not drawn anywhere near all of it. Flying fireball guy is definitely a bigger threat than loud noises. So because of that, you have maybe 5 of them on you, but there are still at least a dozen, if not more, that are focused towards Soul. Other actions that Jasper would like to take, now that he has kind of like drawn what attention he can at the very moment at least.
Let me see what I can do.
Sure. Can I give you a moment and jump back to Soul?
Absolutely.
Awesome. And Soul, over to you. As you were unloading this flaming barrage, you are doing this atop your cloud, of course. And
Yes.
the cloud does have a finite lifespan at a time. That is starting to run thin. So how would Soul like to resolve his ultimate strike and move down into position, or get to a point where he won't just plummet if the cloud disappears?
Yeah. Okay. I would drop the cloud, allow it to drop as I am aiming my barrage, ideally at the archer if I see him, or anything kind of coming up down below. And as I am dropping down, crap, I need a quip.
Well,
will I
real
say
quick,
that I haven't
while you were thinking of that, there's actually something else quite notable. As you are dropping down, Soul would actually, for the first time yet this mission, feel a wrenching sensation in his abs. A crossbow bolt has found its mark on him. And boy, is it a nasty hit. Crossbows hit hard, and Soul is completely unarmored. And as such, this thing vanishes into his abdominals almost up to its fletching.
That sounds like it sucks.
Yeah, major suck.
Well, then I'm probably tumbling off of my cloud. How far of a drop is it?
Down to the shelf from this point, it's a little over a story up.
Okay, so survivable. I've got 1 resilience. But yeah, I would like to try and limit break. I need a quip though.
Do you know what to think? I can jump back to Jasper.
If you'll accept, shit, I had something.
I won't.
You will
accept
not
that.
escape justice.
Yeah.
And then activate limit break, teleporting down to the nearest enemy.
Yep. And as you appear next to this crossbowman, he is, as you might imagine, taken completely off guard. He's still kind of aiming up for where you just were. And so when you appear directly next to him, what do you want to do?
Just a straight uppercut to the chin.
The infused
increased
fire
power,
punch would obviously do an immense amount of scorch to him as you take him off his feet and knock his helmet clean off him. But just this punch, obviously there's a kinetic chain that goes through your body whenever you're doing anything like this, and it would send this awful streaking pain through your midsection as soon as you deliver the punch. Follow-ups from Soul after doing so. He has like 2 enemies directly in front of him, another kind of off to his left, and then like another 4 within like 5 or 6 paces beyond them in a variety of directions. He's pretty much surrounded. To his back is the drop off of the ridge.
So I think immediately drop down to his knees, like doubled over in pain, clutching the arrow, clutching his abs, just off. But he will not go down that easy. And clutching the arrow, he's gonna like hold it tight and then say, I swear that this boy will be your king, as he rips it out, activating Never Say Die, in which I swear a meaningful vow in order to heal minor injuries, stabilize severe ones, and bypass one of my current cooldowns.
Yeah. Now, the jet of blood that is ripped from you when you pull out the thing, the bolt, is like a spout, right? But as you activate Never Say Die, the spout contains itself quite quickly. This is obviously a brutal wound, far more than Never Say Die can fully heal. But what ability do you want to bypass the cooldown
on? Ultimate Strike.
Absolutely. And as you do so, ripping out the bolt, you obviously now that you've teleported into place, people for a moment were like, where the fuck is he? But now they have their sights on you again. You ripping out the bolt as a sign of defiance does actually cow people to the point where just for a moment they're like they're not, Jesus Christ, what just happened? Immediate follow-ups after doing so with Ultimate Strike now off of cooldown.
Yep. So standing up, gathering my aura once again, this time into my fist, drawing back with a flaming fist as I punch forward a giant fireball fist.
And as you do so, crossbows begin to sing and snap, but the great flaming fist incinerates the quarrels in its wake as it goes driving off, plowing through 2 soldiers, a tent, part of a barricade, and another soldier beyond, just leaving like a wake of destruction in its path. Soldiers dive out of the way to try to get clear of the giant attack. Jumping now back over to Jasper. We're not quite at Flaming Fist yet. However, what would he like to do at this point from where we left him, with 5 soldiers focused towards him and Soul still up in the air?
So I think I want to try to use Trick Shot again.
Yep.
And have it bounce off something and then try to damage, either destroy or incapacitate their crossbows or whatever they're firing at me. If I could do it to all of them, great. But if I could get most of them or even some of them, that'd be great.
Unfortunately, they aren't in a neat line, so you wouldn't be able to be like bah, 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 or anything like that. However, if you would like, they're since most of them are behind cover, like barricades, that is something that you can try to reflect off of with a trick shot. And there is at least one barricade that has two hiding behind them. The barricade is such that they would both have to be pretty low, and even if they might be holding their crossbows in different directions, you might be able to get a hand even if you can't get the crossbow itself.
Yeah. I think that's what. Yeah, I think I'd like to go for something like that, and just so now I got to do my flourish. So
Yeah, and you're in like
it'll be a
a
little
hanging
different.
position off the ridge too. So talk me through it.
So so I'm trying to imagine what this. So I'm in a hanging position. You said.
Not quite a hanging, like you're in like a rock climbing position. Imagine you've like just climbed to the top of a rock wall. You have one arm up,
Okay.
but your legs are still on the stone, right? And so it's a tricky position, and you have one arm that's pretty much devoted to keeping you in place, and then the other on your revolver.
So I think I'm gonna try to just like lift myself up as
Yep.
best I can, and like toss my gun up in the air, and then
Nice.
hopefully that's distract. Like the glint or something would distract them a little bit. Like, what is this guy doing? And then as I catch it, like just kind of lean over to the side and just like kind of like shoot, like kind of like in what was that movie with the curving the bullet dumb stuff?
Classic, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm like trying to curve
Wanted.
the bullet.
You want
Wanted. That's what it
Wanted.
was. Yeah, that's what it was. I couldn't remember. I was like, I think it's Wanted, but yeah. So yeah, that's what I want to do.
Nice. And as you do so, a few retaliatory crossbow bolts come like whizzing out in your direction as well. However, your appearance is sudden enough that they don't have a great time to draw a bead on you. And as you fire off, your bullet bounces off of one of the hard barricades. You hear a yell of a man and also a loud snapping noise. Obviously, when an object like a crossbow is under tension and you break the tension, it springs out, and so you can see like a few pieces of crossbow go shooting up over the edge of the barricade. That has neutralized that pocket of two, and then you had three more shooting at you, which means that at least at the moment there should be no crossbows pointed at you because that's all five. What do you want to do?
I think I want to move into the. Let me look at my abilities again. I think I have a. Can I use my shootout ability on this?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, the weapon's already in my hand, obviously. So I don't
That's
need to.
fine. You
It
don't
doesn't need
have
to
to do the
teleport there.
teleport part.
Yeah. So what I kind of want to do is just kind of focus on them, on them, individually, if possible, like, or at least one of them, like who I would ever deem the biggest threat would be, like the one who feels like they're most likely to hit me. So I'm gonna fire at the most skilled of them if I can pinpoint that.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you going to be climbing up onto standing position, or are you going to be still
Yeah.
firing from climbing position?
No, I'm gonna stand position. I'm gonna expose myself.
Nice.
By doing that, yeah.
That's actually kind of a perfect paired action for the shootout, because shootout is like a few seconds of stillness broken by a sudden movement. And so kind of like slowly pulling yourself up while they're frantically reloading is one of those like moments of stillness that you can take before bam, starting the shootout.
Yep.
With it active, where are you firing? Again, they're mostly trying to stay behind cover, clearly trying to reload. You have these wooden barricades in front of you. Wood can stop a bullet, but it's not always going to do so. How do you want to be shooting?
I think if I can even like obscure their vision, like cause like dust to fly up, like
Oh,
not
that's
necessarily
sick.
them,
Yeah, just shooting the ground.
just shooting and like it just and so like yeah, they're reloading and stuff. I'm not hitting them, but like I am causing enough of it. Like again, I love the idea of distracting them with like just dust flying up in their face.
Yeah,
So yeah.
absolutely. And this is the top of like a mountain ridge. Because of that, the ground here is very dusty and very like not waterlogged, because it's above the cloud line in some areas here too. And so as you are firing off, dust plumes go spitting up into the air. And since you can shoot so fast, you can fill the air with dust. Immediate follow-ups once you have completely obscured this area. Are you moving closer or staying at a distance?
I'm gonna stay at a distance and see if I can't find some type of like if there's a tree or something or a statue, something I can find myself cover with to just kind of like collect myself, maybe reload, because again I've used a lot of bullets.
In shootout reloads for free. It
Oh,
converts
that's
a new
right.
bullet into place. So you don't even need to do that. But in terms of getting cover, you do have some. Even though this is a relatively flat top, there are a few like small rocky crags that you can like duck behind and get into position, as you can hear the soldiers screaming to each other, as well as a very disconcerting noise, which Not that Jasper would know this, but is the flaming fist attack that Soul sent rocketing off.
Yeah, so I think what I'd ultimately want to do too is position myself in such a way where it's like they don't know where I'm at. Like there could be a couple of different spots, but they don't know that I'm in this
Ooh.
particular spot because of the dust flying up.
In that case, there's actually a perfect option that they definitely wouldn't be able to see. As Jasper's kind of like looking around this way and that, he is pretty close to the animal paddock.
Ooh. Yeah, let's do that.
And tucking your way over there, still obscured by this screen, you would find yourself among maybe a half dozen rather panicked large mountain goats. They seem pretty trained. They don't like aggress against you or anything while you enter, but they're kind of like milling about, scared by all the noise and the fireballs and stuff like that.
So if I still could do more stuff, what I'd like to do is actually create a bigger distraction and like release these goats.
Yep.
And send them in all different directions, like not hurting them. I don't want to, I don't want to
Yeah,
hurt
this is
any
like a
animals. Obviously,
slap
I
to
just
the
want to,
rump to get them to go
yeah,
charging off.
yeah,
or
like
something.
just to get them to go in different directions. So, and hopefully under the guise of all the shooting is what caused them to like panic and break out. Like that's what I'm hoping
Yeah.
they'll believe, that they won't figure out that I was in there.
Absolutely. And jumping briefly back to Soul before we go back to Herman, Soul, after your giant flaming fist attack, it's obviously scattered them for the moment, but you're going to have crossbows trained back on you momentarily. What would you like to do?
So I'm assuming Limit Break is still active.
The speed is still active on it, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Limit Break, I have a perk. 2 perks, actually. One is when I activate the teleport, it leaves behind a fire clone. And 2, the fire clone will attack my target for the duration.
Nice.
Obviously, it's like ethereal fire, so I don't know how much damage it's actually doing, but it probably burns or something. So yeah, with the help of my fire clone, I just want to zip around. My training weights are definitely holding me back at this point, but not taking them off just yet. Just kind of using the speed to.
Yeah. It's at this point that I will also add that Soul is currently in the low yellow on stamina. He's obviously been using Limit Break a lot and been moving around, so despite his massive vigor stat, he is starting to really feel it. And that extra wind-up that you're describing on punches completely makes sense. He has a few close calls with crossbows, but now that he's in close-hand quarters, his opponents don't have as much time to reload, and instead they are going for closer range weapons. Things in the line of like bucklers and small shields, long rondelle-style daggers to try to like stab into a neck or something when you get close. But since you are so fast and hit so hard in melee combat, these close-hand weapons are not of particular threat to Soul, at least not as of now. Before we go further, however, let's jump back over to Herman. Herman has watched, I don't know if satisfied is the right word for it, but he's watched on as he's seen Diane having the lord he is serving get his break early, and brings him a good amount of spiked food and drink. Other actions that you would like to take, the guards have been summoned by Diane and are kind of like gathered a little bit closer than they were before to watch over their lord as he eats.
No, I think at this point it seems like everything's doing well. I'm trying to think with what I got if there's anything I could do that could be reasonable.
I would also
at this
note
point,
that
honestly,
while you are doing so, Diane would catch your eye, get kind of a wicked smile on his face, and say to his soldiers, "Come on, where's your sense of manners and good faith, my good men? Toss this poor beggar a few coins, won't you?" And a few of the guards grumble and offer some alms and kind of like toss them over to you like you're some sort of leper. Diane would give you a nod and say, "And I hope you can use it to buy yourself a new pair of shoes, my good man," and gives you a wink.
I take the gold that may or may not be worth anything when I get back home, put it in my satchel. I mean, yeah, at this point, I'm just going to start making my way towards the other camp and just see maybe by the time I get there if there's anything I can do to help. But unfortunately, I don't have anything that can get me there quickly, so...
So heading to the one that your allies are currently fighting over?
Yeah. Yep.
As you are moving, are you just going to be following the way you already know? Do you have your map out? What do you want to be trying?
Yeah, sure. I'll take the map and see if there's a quicker way that's not as perilous, since I don't have my boots.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking across it, there is something that he would note that is a bit odd that he hadn't really noticed before, which is, remember how I've described how there are these like rivers that trickle away from the lake in the center?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that lake is fed by springs from these high ridges, which all kind of come down into the center. And even though it's summertime, and it's more than a little bit, cold in the air, despite it being summertime, there is still ice from the winter. And these springs create, in several places, natural flumes of ice that slide off down the ridges in different directions. And he does on his map spot one that.
Yeah, why not? If worst case scenario, I hit my button. All right, let's go down one of those fumes.
And getting into it and start to slide down. Initially, it's rather bumpy and uncomfortable. My hip, you know what I mean? But eventually, it smooths out. And he slides at kind of an alarming speed before starting to slide back up and landing at last amongst some of the scrub and pebbles. Certainly got him there faster, even if not necessarily comfortably. And from here, he only has a shorter hike to get up to that ridge where his allies he can hear are still fighting. As he is doing so, however, he would hear, "Hey! Hey! Here!" And you can see that Delf, who has clearly seen you slide in, is offering you a long stick to help you climb up.
I take the stick.
And again, his back muscles come into play as he hefts you up. He says, "Are you all right?" He dusts you off.
Kid, have you hit the thing yet?
Well, no, I gotta wait to get into the position up there.
All right, come on, kid. If they're going to be doing some stuff. Let's get in position then.
Right. I was just a little nervous to get up onto the top in case, someone shot me.
Did you press the H?
He takes it out. Sets his jaw, his eyes still obscured. He says, "Let's go up."
Yeah, come on. And I just push him up. Come on.
Okay, don't hurt yourself. Don't worry, I can do it. And he goes,
"Oh no, I'll hurt myself. It's fine, kid. Let's go."
"No, I don't want you to do that." And he offers you a hand
Kid,
to help you up as well.
The faster you shoot one of those arrows into the flower, the faster I get to go home. Okay? You understand that?
Understood. And he scrabbles his way up himself, getting up onto the top of this high ridge point. And
also, something you become king, Yeah.
And you can see him taking the moment to line up with his thumb and judge the distance. He says, "Yep, I think I have it." And he takes off his bow. And his goat trots up beside him, and he first pulls out one of the non-enchanted arrows. He says, "Gonna take a couple practice shots. Not trying to dawdle, just want to make sure I don't waste your special ones."
You get 5. Understood?
5.
I'm gonna do something, and then when I'm done, you're actually trying. Understood?
Gotcha. He looses the first
I'm
one.
gonna take the staff and start magically imbuing it, to kind of give us a little force field of protection, to protect us in case anyone tries to shoot us from the rear.
Yep.
So I'll use By the Wayside for that.
And similar to how you described your kind of arrow smacking ritual, is this a similar thing? You're just bonking the staff against the ground? Or is there
Too much. I'm just doing it, but I'm actually hitting in specific spots.
Yep.
That's gonna basically make the perimeter of this shield. But yeah.
And as you do so, you would notice that very critically, now that all of you are on the top of this high shelf, your ascension was obscured by the great cloud of dust that, unbeknownst to you, Jasper kicked up just before you ascended. And so for the moment, you have not a single eye on you as you and Delf ready your position. Delf fires his second arrow. He says, "All right, I think I got the hang of this. I'm going to start making real attempts now."
Great, kid. And then when I finish that, I'll use my last use of By the Wayside to get 3 more arrows and just start same thing, hitting them get them to have the same property
Oh,
as the
pardon.
magic ones,
It's
just so he has
it's not 3 uses of the ability permission. It's when you enchant something, that thing has 3 uses of the power. So by the wayside, since you just used on your
understood.
staff, is still on cooldown, but the staff is going to
Gotcha.
be able to
Understood.
exact like a little force field twice more.
Ooh, good to know. All right, well then, yeah, then I'll just hold it out and just keep pressing the button that has the encouragement, because Herman is not good at encouraging.
Now, as Herman is doing so, the dust that is obscuring so much of the area is clearing in one section, namely the section closest to you guys where the wind is whipping down and is creating the strange environmental phenomena that makes this place so tricky to shoot in from any other position. And there's only one other person who is this close to the edge along the entire shelf. Herman would lock eyes with him from a distance. The Baron, currently midway through a shot, looks towards you with a look of absolute indignation on his face from underneath his bejeweled helmet.
I just do this.
Neener, neener.
Yep.
And he turns his bow away and aims it towards you. You see him.
Oh no, what could possibly... Yeah!
The arrow whips through the air. It looks like it's not trying to hit you, but trying to get quite close. And even so, it deflects off of the force field. And the Baron looks shocked. And you can see his face turn purple with indignation as he seizes out another arrow and aims at this one clean towards your face.
So does the projection only last for that little bit of time, or is it still up?
The projection only lasts for that one little poof like that. That's why, and now you have 2 uses left.
Oh crap, I'm about to use my... Alright, and I'm going to use the second use of it.
And poof, the arrow embeds itself in midair, breaking your force field, but not going far enough in to actually hit you. It like stops like just shy of your face.
Okay. Kid, hurry up!
And he says, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And he turns around and he fires an arrow towards the Baron. You can see that the arrow whips through the air. It's one of your enchanted arrows, and it attracts towards the flower-based livery on the Baron's chest plate and knocks him to the ground. The arrow is sticking out of the plate. They're not deep enough that it's probably lethal.
Kid, do that again, but not at the Baron. Do it at that.
Did I
and I
kill
just
him?
aim towards... No, he's fine.
And sure enough, he starts to struggle back to his feet. Oh, good. And he takes out another of the enchanted arrows. Yeah, exactly. Oh, good. Oh, dang it. Yeah. The Baron gets to his feet, seething with rage. And instead of drawing another bow, he instead takes out what looks like a long, wicked cutlass and begins to go across the edge of the ridge towards you guys, starting at a walk and then building towards a run. At the very least, he is no longer shooting.
Hurry up, kid!
Now, before we go further with this, jumping back over to Jasper. Jasper is not in sight of this because of the cloud of dust that he himself kicked up. But now that pack animals are rushing around all over the place, kicking up still more dust on top of that, it is frickin' chaos. There's no way that you have eyes on you at this very moment. What would Jasper like to do from here? He catches a few snippets of people through the dust. He can see some soldiers calling to each other, some trying to corral animals, and also hears the occasional clang and yell of Soul as he goes around slamming people in the helmet. You are currently muted.
I knew that. Great job. I was testing everyone. So, no. so I can't see anything, right? Because there's all this dust and everything.
You're having a very hard time picking people out. You do have better than average sensory, meaning that you'll have an easier time seeing people in this dust than they will seeing you, but it's pretty rough.
Okay. How many guys are how many guys are left that were initially trying to shoot at me?
Of that 5, probably.
Because I know a lot of them are focused on Soul right now.
Yeah, probably 3 left.
3 left. All right. I'd like to start picking them off one by one if possible. If I'll use my entire turn just to do one at a time type thing.
Are you going to be moving up through the dust to get close to behind the barriers where you knew they were?
Correct. Yes. I'm gonna move closer now. Now I am gonna move closer.
Yeah, and when you get up to them, are you going like? I don't know if you get this. Are you gonna be using airsoft etiquette where you're like just drop your weapon, bud, or are you just?
Yes. I'll be using airsoft etiquette.
Now, there is one other big advantage that Jasper finds he has in the dust cloud. his duster protects him against environmental hazards, and dust in the eyes is among that. And so even though his vision is restricted, he isn't squinting and like snuffling through the dust cloud. He is actually able to see a little ways in front of him. And as such, coming up behind one soldier, then another, is it like, give me an example of the sort of thing you would say to them?
So like basically, I'd come up behind one and like maybe like cover their mouth and like and put my gun butt up to the back and be like, I can't miss from this range. So put your weapons down.
And they would drop their weapon, and they would, every time they do so, you see they'd take out a handkerchief and like tie it around their forehead.
They would tie a handkerchief around their forehead?
Yeah, it seems, at a guess, it seems cultural.
Okay. So what I might try to do into is if I can find a way to bind their hands or find what I might do is just knock them out with the butt of my revolver type stuff, just just to incapacitate them so that they don't get back up.
Do you also want to do anything like, I don't know, step on the crossbow or something to just make it less likely they can pick it right back up? Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I definitely want to do that.
And as you're creeping in between them, you manage to neutralize not only the 3 that were initially going after you, not all in the same place as you left them because they've moved around, but also another 2 who were incidentally scrabbling through the dust. At this point, you're almost midway through the camp. You can see the glimmers of fire from like the right side of the shelf that you're on, and from the left side, you do hear a familiar voice. Herman's voice squawking out something, kid.
That was a very good impression. Good job.
I'm trying. And what would Jasper like to do from here?
I think if I can position myself, am I able to kind of pinpoint where they're at, even just based on like sound?
Based on sound,
like
you have
sensor?
a decent idea of where they are. To the left, a little ahead, kind of like your 10 o'clock.
Okay, cool. So what I want to try to do is if I can get out of the dust covering, if I can find some way to kind of look where they're at and maybe kind of see if they're like basically check on. I want to check on Delf. Basically, I want to check on him to see and Herman to see where they're at. Even if that means I have to remove myself from the camp to do so. Just because I kind of have a feeling that Soul's gonna destroy the rest of this camp pretty soon.
And as you creep your way through the dust cloud, I'm guessing you're trying to like avoid fights at the moment, so like staying out of the way of people staggering past.
Yeah, I'll be as stealthy as I can.
Yeah, and fortunately, given that you have a sight line and no one else does, that isn't that hard to do. And as you creep through, it takes you like all of 20 seconds to navigate. But I mean, in this sort of situation, 20 seconds is a while. But as you pop your head out the far side of the dust cloud starts to dissipate, you can see 2 things. One, you can see Herman with his staff out in front of him, a little like look on his face, and an arrow like directly on the ground in front of him, unbeknownst to Jasper, where it fell after being blocked by the force field. And you also see Delf looking terrified, drawing another arrow to his bow, looking over his shoulder, kind of past where Jasper is, along the edge of the ridge.
I think if I can, I want to get. I want to make my way back towards Herman and Delf just to help them out any way that I can. So if I've got, if I got to leave, I'll leave the encampment and just try to see what's going on with them, so I can provide them with some sort of cover.
Yeah, absolutely. In this case, Herman, you would see Jasper break from the dust cloud, appearing like a phantom out of nowhere and starting to make his way directly towards you, probably at speed, I'm guessing.
Oh, great! We can have someone who can fire back.
What would Herman say to Jasper as he's approaching besides that?
Please encourage this kid. I'm terrible at this. Just have him take the shot.
Okay. So I would just shout out, "Remember, kid, stay in your own head. Don't let anyone else in there."
And you would see that Delf reaches up and would like tap the little H, which you see he's like tucked behind his ear and held in place with his own little headband. Nice. As he does so, his trembling hands pull back the bowstring. You can see his back muscles flex once again. But you can, Jasper would also hear from over his right shoulder, rushing from the direction of the camp towards where these guys are parked on this high shelf, a voice. "What do you think you're doing, boy? Get your mangy low-born behind away from this sacred rite." Before we go further, however, actually, Herman, quick responses if you have any to that. This is, of course, the Baron.
Oh, I hit him with my stick.
You like going out to give him a bonk?
Yeah.
Now, Herman is surprisingly strong. He has a plus to might, I remember. And so
and vitality, yeah.
yeah, and so the Baron, even though he is like trying to ignore Herman, when the bonk comes in, like like gets him in the forehead, and staggers backwards, he would bring back a hand to like do like a backhand cuff across the side of Herman's cheek. Is Herman going to eat this, or does he have another plan?
Oh no, I'll take it. It's fine.
Yeah. The Baron hits hard, and Herman is not necessarily abundantly ready to be hit. Herman goes spinning down to the ground with his cheek absolutely pulsing with pain and stars winking in his front of his eyes. The Baron hits you with a gauntleted hand, so it was like being punched in the face with metal. Before we go further, however, because of course I'm sure Jasper is going to have reactions to this, jumping back over to Soul, destroying everything. Now, Soul, as you are running amidst the various troopers of the Baron, punching them and knocking them to the ground, crossbow bolts errantly flying overhead, sometimes them trying to take swipes at you. Two things. One, stamina is starting to drip towards red. Not there yet, though. And on top of that, more notably, your limit break speed boost is starting to wear thin, which means not only are you really failing it, you're starting to like flag quite substantially, but also the main advantage you have over these guys, which is getting on top of them and hitting so fast they can't really react to you, is starting to get weaker. You're still faster than any of them, but you are also tired. Actions that Soul would like to take, the dust cloud and the escaped animals are kind of now more in his direction, so there's kind of like a thin mist of dust everywhere on top of all that we've already described, not to mention half of the remaining tents are on fire.
I think if I can find a moment where he has a bit of a breather, kind of surveying the battlefield, and reach up, take off his iron bead bracelets, pull the giant iron bead necklace.
It like slams into the ground and leaves a deep imprint in it.
And then reaches into the gi and pops Divine Fruit. So that was activation of training weights, which gives me a bonus speed and strength boost for a mid duration, scaling with how relevant they've been. And eating my Divine Fruit, this is a single small berry that will instantly stabilize injuries, restore 1 full stamina threshold, which is what I really, really need, and cause me to enter a state of extreme overconfidence, as if I haven't been already.
And as Soul's training weights drop to the ground, and the Divine Fruit kind of like pulses its way through him, he feels alive, he feels infused, he feels rushing with energy. And he can also see that, given that he's taken a pause, he sees that a trio of soldiers have come into view again. One of them is taking a knee with a crossbow, another one has a great kite shield that he's bringing to bear to defend him, and the last one has a long halberd. They're actually trying to get some other more proper weapons to deal with Soul. And Soul, in his state of great overconfidence, I'm guessing doesn't think that this is much of a problem. What does he want to do?
Is there something on fire nearby?
Yes. Tent.
Draw the ancestral blade, like put it into the fire and say, "Bless this blade so that it may live once more to serve your justice." And drawing it back out, this is an activation of Ancestral Blade. It is restoring it to its former glory, making it dramatically more deadly and durable, and gaining a pitched magical effect for low duration. I think my magical effect will simply be that it's a flaming sword.
Sick. Nice and easy. And as the Ancestral Blade comes out, resplendent, bathed in fire, as beautiful as the day it was wrought, actions that Soul would like to take.
Charge the group of oncoming soldiers.
And as he does so, a crossbow bolt rips out towards him. He has the faintest moment to react, mostly thanks to the fact that his speed is so incredibly boosted by the training weights.
Can I limit break?
It's actually a really good question. It's a low cooldown, right?
Yes.
The cooldown doesn't get increased if you use the teleport, does it? I don't think it does.
It just burns more stamina.
Yeah, it just burns more stamina. Okay, yeah, you have limit break.
Sweet. Yeah, my quip this time will be just like, you cannot keep up with the speed of the day. Or of the dawn, something like that.
Yep.
And then, yeah, kind of bullet time, just dodging crossbow bolts.
Sick.
Or
and the sword not only cleaves through the kite shield and the man's chestplate and the man, but also the chestplate and the man behind him. As you pull it back out, infused with strength and speed, the one with the halberd tries his best to take a stab towards your midsection, but given your immense speed, it's almost like he's doing like a stage combat strike.
nice. So yeah, parry it kind of with my hand to grab it, pull it towards me, and run him through.
Yep. The wounds that you deliver to these men are cauterized as they are delivered, and the three of them would be dead before the first one has hit the floor. Immediate follow-ups from here, you can see other shapes of soldiers running amok within the dust cloud, but no others are in immediate, clear, obvious view.
Yeah, run towards the nearest shape then, just shouting maniacally.
And I'm guessing as you come, are you even like waiting to see who it is, or are you just cutting it down?
I mean, it's that dusty that I can't even see.
It is that dusty. You have no pluses to sensory, and you have no protection against it getting in your eyes.
I mean, probably, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Cleaving through one soldier and then another, you rip through the dust cloud amongst burning tents, amongst like braying goats terrified at all of the noise. I'm guessing he's not going to just indiscriminately kill goats. That doesn't seem like the sort of like maniac that Soul is today. But
Nope.
Yeah.
Just dispensing justice to these people who will not accept their king.
And jumping back over to the other two. Jasper, as Herman is smacked to the ground by this backhand, the Baron is very heavily armored. He has a great cut-like saber in one hand, but he doesn't seem to have any other weapons like immediately on his person, though it's hard to tell because he has a great mantle over him as well. He is now standing with you kind of at his 9 o'clock, looking directly towards Delf, who is, you can tell, trying his best not to look, to stay in his head, and to take the shot.
So I'm going to activate my standoff with this Baron. So I want to call attention and get him just to focus strictly on me.
What will you say?
I'm like, Baron! Leave that boy alone. This is... sorry. Like, Baron! Please pay attention to me. Oh, my voice is all changing. This is crazy. Sorry. I just want to shout out Baron and be like, Baron, look this way. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Just have him turn around.
Yeah, when I'm talking to you is a good line for this. And you would see that his enraged eyes turn to you underneath his giant helm. He's snarling. And you can see that there's still an arrow sticking awkwardly out of his chest plate, piercing the white lily at its center.
Okay. This is an arrow that's inside this Pierce's plate.
Yeah,
his
pierced
armor.
his plate, but doesn't seem to have hurt him, or if so, it's not a bad one.
Got it. So basically, I just want to keep his attention on me while Delf is shooting. So with my standoff, I'm basically just gonna kind of slowly have my hands by my side, and just say, Baron, you've had your opportunities. Let this boy take his shot.
And why would you say he deserves it? Look at him. He's nothing. He's an old mop handle. He's a bitch dog's son born in a barn.
So, despite how you may feel about this boy, he has every right to try. Don't count the underdog out.
Fool. Look at him. He can barely hold it.
And I'm just like, And I'll basically say, "It seems like you think you can get inside his head. Well, I've trained the boy not to let you inside his head. He will make this shot on his next shot. I'm gonna just be very confident. He will make this shot and just kind of like not even looking at Delf and just kind of point in his general direction.
Yeah. And the Baron guffaws. I've never heard such nonsense.
And then it said, and as he makes that shot, I'm gonna shut your mouth for you, and I'm gonna point my other hand with my revolver at like any kind of like I'm debating whether or not to shoot the arrow that's already like that's piercing him to see if I can't push it in with a bullet.
That's kind of cool.
Or just have the bullet just like go directly through it.
No, that's
since it's already
kinda
pierced
sick.
there.
Yeah. And as you are doing so, however, Herman, obviously, you still have lights winking in front of your eyes. Your jaw feels like it's been dislocated, but you have leave of your senses, and you are able to clamber back to your feet if you wish. You can see that Delf has his bow almost drawn to full draw. You can see the tension in his face. You can see the concentration in his mouth, and you can hear the Baron guffawing and brazenly taunting as he is bellowing back and forth with Jasper, though the Baron's eyes are not on Delf. What would Herman like to do?
I as much as I want to hit the guy, I think that situation's handled, so I'll just go over to Delf and make sure that I'm like blocking his line of sight from the Baron, and I just remember, kid, the boots wouldn't have worked except for only the true king. No one else knows that but you right now. Prove it to them.
And underneath his bangs, Delf blinks. He loosens the bow and swaps out the enchanted arrow for a normal one.
Okay, well, you don't do. I'm just kidding.
No, you can do so if you want.
No. I just was doing it for the joke.
Yep.
Continue.
He pulls the arrow back, touches the H by his ear, and as he does so, his back muscles clearly aching, breathes out and fires. The arrow whips through the air, and down below you can see that little purple speck vanish. And as Delf fires, the Baron, not even bothering to look, says, "Another miss. Where's your confidence now, horse hand?"
You sure about that? Even my old eyes can see what really happened.
Don't play games with me. He pulls his saber and turns to strike at Delf. Actions that Jasper would like to take.
I get in the way.
Yep. You have one more charge on your force field.
Oh, perfect. I would like to, the second he brings it down, activate it. For sure.
The saber bounces off of the force field one last time. And Jasper, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna shoot him now.
Where do you want to hit him?
So he's turned away from me now, isn't he?
Yep.
Can I do a trick shot?
Actually, absolutely you can. And you actually have a couple of interesting things you could bounce it off of, including Herman's walking stick.
Do it.
Would that destroy his? Okay, you're good with that.
Trick shots don't actually do much damage to the surfaces they hit. I've even seen people
yes,
like
I 100%
bounce it off
want
of
to,
people before, though that's risky.
Okay. I still think that's really cool. I think I want to. That'd be amazing if I could fire it off and bounce it off of his stick, and then get it to go where that arrow was had penetrated his armor.
And what is going to be your paired action for this?
So, because my flourish.
Yeah.
I'm basically I'm gonna say, "Don't look now," and then I'm going to pull the revolver really quickly. I'm gonna toss it up in the air, grab it with my other hand, like do kind of like combined action of all the things I've done already with that guy with the bullet. Yeah. Just a mixture of everything I'm like just putting everything together.
And as you fire off, Herman would feel like a bink on his staff. It might almost feel like it's taken out of his hands for a moment. And then he'd see in front of him the face of the Baron. as he looks down. You can see that in the Robin Hood style, the arrow has been split down the center like a peeled banana.
In twain!
Yeah.
And then he falls on top of me.
Yeah, actually, I was about to get to that. He keels forward towards Herman. Oh, dear.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, Herman is, again, surprisingly strong. Enough so that he is not going to die to being crushed by 250 pounds of armored Baron, but
Yeah.
it's certainly a lot to bench.
I need to stop going on these things. I always end up mortally wounded.
And as you do so, you would feel the Baron's bulk lighted slightly as Delf helps pull him off of you. And
Good job, kid.
he pushes up his hair and looks at the two of you. He says, is this a trick? Did I do it?
No, you did it, kid, and it was all you. In fact, we were never here, and I press my button and just start teleport back.
You preempted what I was about to say. Final actions from Jasper as Herman is tripping the fuck out of Delf.
I'm like, remember, I will remember, stay in your own head as this happens.
And Soul, making your way through the smoke clouds, or the clouds of dust, dispatching those who come near. You've stopped hearing movement besides the mountain goats. And occasionally you will step over a body, or a cowering man hiding in place with a bandana tied around his head, no weapons in hand, and his arms above his head.
Told you you'd kneel before your king.
And the man looks up. Did the Baron hit it?
I wouldn't know that the boy has hit it yet, but I'm
It
confident
would be
that he did.
It would be at literally this point that you would feel your Enclave badge ping as well.
The boy hit it, and he will be a just king. I feel it.
The boy? And on that question, Soul would vanish. And on that note, we will end the mission.
Yay.
And that boy became Henry VIII.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that boy could be a straight up villain or something now.
Yeah,
I just gave him confidence to be a better villain.
It's like King David, you know? You could be a hero, you can be a villain wrapped up in the same person at different points.
Maybe
in your
both,
life.
yeah.
Why not both?
Yeah, I was definitely drawing the allegory of King David. I'm like, this is pretty impressive. I actually appreciated that.
Yeah, exactly. The King David thing was not far from my mind. But to give a quick assessment, let's go through this sucker, shall we? The focus words I received. Pinpoint. Marksmanship. By goat or by boat, there was a way to shoot from low on the river. And I wanted to make it so that there was a deliberate choice. If you wanted to take a more subtle route, that would mean you'd mostly be having to defend from above rather than take a fortified position. And lastly, Fate. This is a King Arthur style story with sword and stuff.
I loved it. That was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
I love the mixture of the King David and the King Arthur myth just kind of meshed. That was
exactly.
That was fun.
I was seeing what I could do with that. I will say, by goat or by boat was a really tough focus word, but there was one other thing that made it work, which is that when I was like, goat or by boat, I'm thinking Dr. Seuss. Fuck, how do I get away from Dr. Seuss? And then I thought of like those prophecy rhymes that you often hear. And that's how I came up with the split the wine dark flower thing. That was where that came in. I was like, okay, there's a prophecy rhyme. I know how I'm using this now. Tough focus word, but fun.
I love the way how you come up with the missions in this game, because like that's a really fun way to get the players involved. Like, again, it's so cool how you do this. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Do you have questions about calls that I made or the plot of the mission?
No,
I think this was. I think this is when as good as it could have gone.
Detour, anything on your side?
No, I may be surprised Saul didn't get shot a bit more, but not complaining. He did spend most of it in Limit Break, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Limit Break with triple vigor and even a single reflex is fucking gross. And it just
I didn't realize we were fighting with Rock Lee. So
yeah,
I know, right? I had to stifle Kakarot so many times. I was like, Kakarot!
Yeah. Shonen is a wild class. It has such stupid power, but
Love
as
it.
you guys see, it's also like really vulnerable.
I get it.
You just die.
Took a second. I was
instantly.
like,
we
Shonen
love
like
it though.
samurai? No, I get it. I get
Yeah,
it.
like I loved it. It was fantastic. I love that character. It
Super
was fun.
cool class and a great character too. He is a very generous shonen because he's not weird at all. He just does shonen stuff. I'm like, okay, God, I know what I can do with him.
Not a Mal character.
Yeah, not a Mal character. I love Mal characters, but God, they can be hard in the best possible way. Yeah, and so if there's no questions to give you guys your due, first of all, Herman, to have a crotchety comic relief wanderer who still is very productive is really fun. Your uses of By the Wayside were great. The fork in the road was tight. And using familiar face to neutralize one of the camps was really, really good because, as you might imagine, those camps could have started shooting at Delf the moment he started trying to actually take shots down towards it. So just getting more potential enemies off of your butt, really, really big. On top of that, I think that the dynamic established between Herman, Jasper, and Delf was actually awesome. It let you good cop, bad cop him. And the boot play was fucking brilliant, by the way. That was actually so smart. It's like, oh, they only hover if you're a king. And then he didn't see you float with them. That's because if he had seen you float with them, he would have been like, oh, I guess you're king. But that was really fun dynamic. And you made really good use of the Wanderer kit. Jasper is one of the most like heartfelt gunslingers I've seen. He's so honorable and he has a big heart. I love the spirit that you put into him. I think that your tactical style, your tactical approaches are there. Your ability uses were on point. And you did a great job not overextending yourself while being very true to the character. I actually really liked him. I liked him a lot.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Like again, like I said, I genuinely put some thought because the other character I had too. Like I was like, I don't want to have like because I saw what Detour did. I was like, I don't want to go that many because I don't think I have time for that. But I was like, I'm gonna come with two concepts. And when you were like, either one works, I'm like, I'm gonna go with Jasper because that was where my heart was at anyway.
Yeah.
So, but the other one would have worked. It definitely would have been a different story. I think a little bit, but But for sure, it was fun making him. So
absolutely, he was a great character, and I wanted to design a mission where it was obviously very combat focused. But Herman would not be targeted unless he really put himself in harm's way. Because, of course, they only cared about fighters, people with bows. Only two things they cared about. And so, like, random old man, like, oh, whatever. I don't know. He's probably a beggar or something. That was what I was trying to go for. And especially because, obviously, these guys are from a medieval environment that maybe just got, like, those shitty old guns with the long stick behind
the gun, we just discovered gunpowder.
Yeah, exactly. And so being faced with this made you a serious threat, and then Soul is Soul and is obviously a serious threat. So I wanted to give you guys a bunch of enemies and see how you would deal with them. Because in Enclave, numbers are big. Like even one normal enemy versus 5 is like way more than 5 times scarier. And so 18 is no small number, and you'd have to deal with similar numbers no matter which encampment you ended up going with. But one other thing that Jasper did that I think was possibly his clutchest play on the mission, besides all the awesome characterization, was him kicking up all that dust. Abso-frickin-lutely huge. That single-handedly saved Soul from not getting shot like 3 more times.
Yay!
Big. Really big. And similarly, I'd say in a similar vein, Herman's play of interrogating the wounded soldier and just leaving him there, really good. It gave you an exact idea of what you were going up against. Really smart. Very funny too. And lastly, Soul. Wow, that sure was an effective shonen. That's such a fun class. Just blipping around, ultimate striking, limit breaking, punching through people's heads. Using your training weights as a weapon itself is a fun note too. I haven't really seen that one yet. Cool goddamn character. Cool damn character. Lots of style. And he was a great foil to the other two to allow them to like leave their story marks upon the mission while dispatching like 15 guys.
Nice.
I was saying, I liked the image of an old man taking the road, and in the background is just an epic fight happening.
Yep.
He's just like,
Yeah, exactly. And Herman's like, don't
The whippersnappers.
Yeah. I hear a little critter. Hello, little critter. Do you want to say hi? You can say hi.
Oh,
Oops,
Hello, little
Aw.
critter.
careful, bud. Could you pick up what you just knocked onto the ground, please, for me? Thank you. It is a $10 bill. Here, Sterling, I need to finish up, okay? I'll be downstairs momentarily. Could you wait for me there? Now go on. I know it's tempting to watch the screen, but go on. I'll be right down. Thank you. Final thoughts before we sign off.
I had a
No,
lot of fun.
super
Again,
fun game, yeah.
again, this will be my second time playing a Diceless RPG. I'm like, this is it's a great way. Like how you have it designed is a great way, and I enjoy it every time. So again, I would not be opposed to playing this again.
Marvelous. We love to
Yeah,
hear
I
it.
look forward to all the additional stuff that's going to come out. It's going to be
Yeah,
really
same.
interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And Detour, any final thoughts from you before we sign off?
Yeah, just really loved playing with Herman and Jasper. Really fun characters, so hope I get to play again.
Absolutely. And we'll do our goodbyes in the same order we signed off with, namely, I believe it was Detour, Frank, and Charles. One thing I will say before we tap out is Frank and Charles's YouTube channel, What is Tabletop, I think is a hidden gem, and I think you guys are going places. It's an awesome format, and I think you have some of the best rapport that I've seen, matched only by a friend of mine who's actually an audience, Jim of the Old Warlock. He also has a duo channel with his son Alexander, and you guys managed to have a two-man dynamic that feels completely different and is wonderful at the same time. So I love your channel, I love your work, and I look forward to seeing where you go.
Thanks.
Yeah, we
In
appreciate
that
that.
case, Detour, whatever you goodbyes you'd like to give, let's do our sign-off.
Cheers. I've been Detour. This has been a blast. Thanks for playing. Thanks for hosting, Robbie, and looking forward to the next one.
Absolutely. Always love having you on missions, Detour. You've been around for a while, and for very good reason. You're amazing at the game. And Frank,
you.
final goodbyes, if any.
Frank, should we do this together?
I mean, you. I was saying, I feel like Robbie already did a much better
Yeah.
goodbye than we
Well,
could.
how do we end every episode, Frank?
Oh yes, stay lucky.
Stay witty.
There's no wit stat in this.
That's okay. Stay witty either way.
Nice. Thank you guys so much for taking the time. It's been a pleasure getting to host for you again. I really appreciate your support of the game. And as always, my name is Robbie Howell. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and ciao for now.